Welcome to Kitchen 143. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, and we are here in Cebu, guys. This is our third installment of a wonderful series for NUSTAR Resort Cebu. We have spent the last 3 weeks exploring all of the different ways we can enjoy food, of course, the whole resort here in Cebu, from our Chinese culinary experience in Mott 32 to the international and of course local Filipino flavors in Philly Cafe. And today we are in Il Primo. Il Primo is the first for many reasons. It's not just named the first because it's here at the grand entrance of NUSTAR Resort Cebu. It's also the first steakhouse as well here in Cebu. So we are going to try lots of different things here today. As always, guys, if you are watching live, you're watching on Rappler YouTube, X, Facebook. You may also be watching on the Momma and Manila Facebook page as well. And guys, leave comments. We want to hear from you. This is going to be a very special episode as we wrap up this 3-part series. Joining me on cam today is Chef Martin Rebellero.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you also for joining me. Are you tired of seeing me?
Of course not. I will not be tired, of course.
And Chris Quadreras, and of course the one and only Jude Bacalso.
Token Cebuano. I was thinking you probably need to have a token Cebuano as well on the table. So.
Well, I'm so glad you could make time for us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you both for joining my co-host here and I on Kitchen 143. So, Chef, Il Primo, it's a steakhouse, it's Italian, it's everything that, of course, I would say is delicious because I'm American, Italian, and Filipina. So I like all of these flavors. Tell us a little bit about Il Primo. We know it opened when the resort first opened.
Yeah.
What makes Il Primo different than any other steakhouse that you would come across?
Okay, so, here at Il Primo, we not only serve authentic Italian dishes, like pizzas, pastas, we are also, of course, proud of our steaks.
Yeah.
And the way we prepare it is absolutely amazing. So you will be able to really appreciate the steaks that we have.
Yes.
So right at the back, you can see the kitchen. Well, it's an open kitchen.
It's an open kitchen.
It's an open kitchen. The ambience is there. The feel is there. The mood is there. As you can see, all the preparations of the chefs. You can hear the kitchen is busy.
That's the excitement.
Yeah. So it really adds up, It really adds up.
And showmanship as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it contributes to the experience. Jude, I know you're also into food. You do so many different things. Tell us
Everyone
a
is
little bit.
into food.
Everyone is. Well, not everyone.
Some of us are lucky to get paid to do stuff
be into
about
food.
food. Yes.
So tell us what you do.
So I'm a lifestyle journalist. I write about food and travel,
Okay.
among other things. And based off here in Cebu. So I do love writing about the things that I love doing
And
getting
exploring.
paid.
Yeah. Exploring and sharing those different foodie finds,
Yes.
and different things that you would like to share with everyone as well.
Which is interesting now because everyone can do that with social media.
That's right.
Like
That's right.
when you find something that you think is a discovery on your own, you'd like to share it as, this is a secret that I came up on, and everyone just wants to be first. Il Primo with the
first with
information,
everything.
right? Il Primo with the I discovered this, I discovered that. So it makes our jobs a little bit difficult as well, but then it's exciting that a lot of people are into it as well.
Right. So you don't gatekeep.
I never gatekeep.
No gatekeeping
I never
here,
gatekeep.
guys.
Yes.
We're all about sharing.
I'm from the generation that wants to share everything. This generation loves
Maybe
to gatekeep.
oversharing.
Sometimes we do. Yes. Let's not age ourselves, but but your glasses, my non-gatekeeping might age me as well. Yes, I don't gatekeep.
That's really interesting. I think it is generational because we do share. Like
This
the first
generation
thing,
loves to
yeah.
gatekeep, but they also love to share.
But share kind of secretly. Like if you
Yes.
heard, like it's
If you know kind of thing.
yes,
Right? Yes.
Or there's like soft launches
And a hard launch.
and a hard launch.
And people always prefer the soft launch to the hard launch. Yes. Got to be first.
Do you guys know what we're
That's
talking
right.
about?
Of course.
Do you know?
We are related.
Yes.
I should admit, I'm a little bit, yeah, the age already.
So the soft launch, actually, my kids, I have a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, and an 18-year-old. There is a soft launch. So when soft launch means
You tease someone.
you're teasing it. You're kind of putting it out there, but you're not putting it out
Yes.
there. You're sharing a little bit, just
Restrained.
enough,
Like a
where
teaser.
people are going to say, "Oh, what's that?
Yes.
Who's that?
Tease
What's
them.
happening?"
Okay.
But not actually saying like, "Hey, here's my girlfriend."
Yes. Or sharing all the information. You
At
tease
once.
them,
Right.
and then you do a hard launch later on. But the hard launch is like giving too much already. It's a
For
soft
them,
launch that
for
people
them.
always look forward to.
Meanwhile, I'm like the first one to say, if you say, "Oh, I like I like this. This is delicious. Oh, I got it here, and I got it for a steal."
Yeah.
Soft launch.
Yeah,
We're
so
aging
different.
ourselves when we're talking about the bargain. Right?
Well,
This generation
I'm
doesn't
practical.
really care about the bargain.
I'm very practical. And I have 4 kids. I have to be practical as
True,
well
true.
on sometimes. So you love writing about food. You share them. You share these foodie adventures. I'm sure you've tried Il Primo before.
I have. In fact, it was interesting that even before this opened, they had us try this one. And I've always wanted to ask, why start with a steakhouse?
Interesting.
Because you do have a lot of, there's Filipino, there's Japanese, there's Chinese. 90% of Cebuano
Everybody
is,
steak now,
is
come on.
Chinese.
Oh, 90%.
Probably, I would think.
Okay.
Like 90% has like Chinese
blood.
blood,
Yep.
right?
Okay.
That would be safe to assume that in Cebu. But why a steakhouse? Right? That's always been
Thank
a
you.
question on my mind. Why start with a steakhouse?
Well, everybody likes steak. Rarely I know people that doesn't appreciate steak. So for me, I think that's why
Thank you.
they position the restaurant right in front of the entrance, no? And the name also, it's Il Primo, so it's really the first. And I would say, yeah, I think it really works, no?
Yeah.
It really works in the property.
Well, definitely. Any gaming resort always has to have a steakhouse. There has to be a steakhouse as
To
well.
splurge, right?
Yeah.
When you've done well at the
Yeah,
tables. then
of course, of course. So, Chris, when we have a good meal, we need wine to pair with it. Yes.
Actually, I prepare for you, which is you already tasted.
Yes.
It's a
You can
Teresa's
tell they already
from
started.
Okay.
Argentina wine. So it has more a little bit of acidity, and of course a freshness and the floral, which is you can combine together
So
while
it'll
you
be
eat this.
perfect with this salad. Chef,
Yeah.
do you want to tell us? I mean, this looks beautiful.
Yep.
It's really a feast for
For the eye.
the eyes.
For the eye.
I can't wait to dig into it because burrata is actually one of the very few cheeses that I can enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell us
So,
about this salad.
So burrata, no? If you are a cheese lover, you must love this cheese. So it's like a mozzarella, but this one is more delicate, more soft. No, it's actually made from mozzarella, but this one has a finer texture. So it's really a good way to start a meal.
And usually burrata, it's the mozzarella, but then there's a little surprise inside.
Inside, more moist.
It's like a little gift. It's a gift. It's a
Surprise.
package.
It keeps on giving. And
It's like a
Yes.
packet.
is someone going to say, start off? Are you going to cue us in, Chef? Or
Sure, you
can
can
we
begin
now
anytime.
start?
You can cue in
Begin.
anytime.
I want to
Chef
see,
is the only
I want
one
to
that
see
has
the
to wait.
surprise already.
Yeah. Maybe Chef can also, if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah,
cut
sure,
it
sure.
open so that they can see. Usually
What's inside.
burrata, yeah. So
The
you
surprise
have
in the middle.
Rice
It's
inside.
a surprise inside, and then
See?
you'll see
Look
all
at that.
it's like the
The cheese.
ricotta. All that delicious creamy cheese.
Exactly.
So good. I bet you
Yeah.
guys can see how good that is. Okay, so we're having salad now, and obviously Il Primo being Italian in nature, we have your antipasto, your primi pasta,
Yeah.
your pasta, and we'll of course have dolce. We'll have desserts, but we explored the other outlets in the resort, and we really went on a culinary journey where we were able to try dishes from all over the world. If you guys caught the first 2 episodes, we were in Mott 32 Cebu. We enjoyed Peking duck. Then we came through, and of course, black cod that was so
Yeah.
deliciously smoked,
was so
and,
nice.
and the Iberico pork.
There is
And
always something to talk about in each outlet.
in each outlet,
In each
right?
outlet.
And then we jumped to Philly Cafe. We learned more about the resort, guys.
Yeah.
There's so much more. It's actually, we're only giving you a taste of what's here because there's so much more.
Soft launch.
I think we need.
Stop launching it.
I think we need, another 3 episodes to be able to show you all of the different things you can enjoy when you're here. Here in the Il Primo, though, the steakhouse here serves USDA Prime.
USDA Prime.
Right? It's dry aged steak. It's cooked on a JOSPER grill.
Yep.
Right?
So
So now
everything is
we've
cooked
gone
on a
all
JOSPER.
over the world. Tell us, why the big deal with a JOSPER grill?
Well, Jasper Grill, first, the cooking method is unique. It's actually a combination of both grill and an oven.
Okay.
So it really encapsulates all the flavors inside, the smoky flavor of the wood that's being used. It really combines well with the steak. So no wonder why, every time you were being served by a steak, you can really enjoy the smell, the aroma, before you dig in. So all the flavors are there: smoky, salty, and of course the texture of the meat is also one of a kind. I would say it's juicy because we age it right.
Well, the dry age process is, not everybody does the dry age
mhm.
process. That actually is where it's kind of the fat even, or the meat is actually broken down a little bit
Yeah.
while you're waiting
You're
for
aging
it,
it,
right?
yes.
You're aging, and then it makes
And
it.
it also makes the flavor mature.
And is it true that it would make it more tender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the enzymes, during the process, it breaks down cells enzymes, which helps the meat to be tender.
It creates more flavor.
It creates more flavor.
Love it. I can't wait for that. I know you've
Yeah.
planned something special for all of us. How is your burrata?
I am such a Philistine, so I'm going to ask Chef this.
Sure, go ahead.
People always, I know there's no wrong way or right way to eat your food.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
all of the chefs that have spoken to always tell me when there's a dish in front of you, the assumption is everything can be eaten, right? So
Right.
you put in flour
Yes.
petals
Yes,
here.
has
So
to be.
like
Those are
buds
edible
there
flowers,
as
by the
well.
way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Edible flowers, which it's exactly how you described your wine.
Exactly.
Right? Floral and all that. So I'm sure that's the reason why you chose this one. But so all the chefs that I've spoken to say that the right way to, or what they prefer, their preferred way to enjoy their food is always take a little piece of everything on it and
Yeah.
then just one bite, because that's where you get all the flavors. Because some people might do just the burrata and then they do the arugula and then they do the tomato. But is it your preferred way as well to get every piece
Perfect subo.
of the perfect soup bowl?
Right?
Every,
Thank you really for asking that question.
Wow,
Really, really, really.
Such a good question.
Yeah, it's such a good question. It
I just
really makes
assume
sense.
it should be perfect.
So
because not a lot of people do that. People could compartmentalize what they eat.
They don't let sometimes even their food touch.
Exactly.
So I would say, everything that we put in the plate, we make sure that it complements each ingredient. So the perfect way to really eat is, of course, you have a bit of everything into it. A
Which is what I just did. Yeah.
Yes.
And they will be able to really appreciate the whole dish, I would say. The texture, the flavor, in one bite. Same thing that we do with the canapes,
Yeah.
It's exactly the same,
Yes.
same approach.
Even with the flavors, with the textures. You're right. It's not even
That's-
just the flavors.
That's also important.
Because this is the soft, and then there's the crunch
Crunch.
of the arugula, and then there's also the squishiness of the. Is there
Like
a better
this
word
cheese,
for it?
no?
Squishiness
Deliciousness.
Deliciousness.
of the tomatoes. Yeah.
I mean, like for this cheese, no? Well, why is it very popular? It's because of its texture and flavor, right?
The burrata.
The burrata.
And just don't forget, after you have a
I
small
did. I
bite,
took a sip
just
of
dip
the
at
wine.
wine.
It was
Okay.
so good. Cheers.
Cheers.
So we are celebrating
Cheers.
not just for Il Primo, because Il Primo was just awarded
Yes.
the Sun Best,
Sunstar.
Sunstar
Best.
Best
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu. So congratulations.
Thank you for that.
Cheers to that. Mm. Oh, that's
Whoa.
so good,
Nice.
Chris. It's perfect.
Thank you.
do you prefer a more like a red wine or a white wine? Are you strict about your pairing?
No.
Chris, are you
No.
gonna hate us if we're not strict about our pairing?
No.
But generally, light then light.
yes,
Right?
light,
You can't
light,
go
yes.
light then heavy because this might be too heavy
Yes,
for your.
too heavy,
So that's the general idea.
That's the general.
Okay. But
and
do people?
generally light to heavy, right?
Light
Yeah.
to heavy.
So you
Work
start with
from-
light
from-
and then you work your way.
Exactly. Yes,
Not
but
your whiskey too.
not the whiskey going to beer.
Whiskey's later. Whiskey's later. Whiskey's later. Okay. So aside from, so we were talking about the Sun Star, right? And we also mentioned last week we were in Philly Cafe. Philly Cafe, also another congratulations. You can
Yeah.
cheers again for the best buffet,
Best
in
buffet.
Cebu
Wow.
2023. So
Thank
This
you.
is bottoms up.
Cheers.
That's two awards already.
I guess so.
Bottoms up then.
Cheers. Congrats.
Really, chef? I'd like to see that. Okay.
I drink occasionally.
occasionally. There's always an occasion.
I finished it off.
There's always an occasion.
I was the only one who
There's always a reason to celebrate.
You did bottoms up. I can't do
socially
bottoms up.
lubricated already. Yes.
Well, that's perfect. I'm glad you're having a good time because we should eat, drink, and be merry. Food always tastes better when we're with lovely company, friends, and other foodies, of course, who can enjoy.
I've never seen actually like a food show like yours where people are actually eating and
actually
getting through
eating,
the food,
right?
right? Because it's always like a pretty shot. It's always like, let's stop and then not me putting the food in my mouth. With your show, honey, I can put this in my mouth and talk. At the same time and not be concerned if they're getting the pretty shot. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I care
well,
more
you know
than
what? The
food.
food is pretty. So we show the food a little bit, and then of course we want to taste it and really share with all of you guys who are watching what you can expect. I just want to make sure, Tonyo, that when you take our plates away, you don't make them disappear completely, because I'm going to come back for the burrata. I am also from
Well, I
the
finished off
generation.
myself, sorry.
But I am also from the generation where we had to finish everything on our plate. It's very different now.
You got screamed at, right?
Right? Well, that we were told that you had to finish everything.
Were you a Filipino mom or a Filipino dad?
Filipino mom,
Oh, Filipino mom. Okay.
American Italian dad.
That's the
my-
screaming. Okay.
Italians always. The Italians are always very passionate. We scream a lot.
The only way to shut you up is to put your hands down and tie you up, right? Just gesticulate with your hands. That's how you speak, right?
It's true. He actually tried to get me.
Love hand gestures, yeah.
That's how you shut an Italian up.
Stop.
Yeah.
You can't. You can.
Yeah. That's how you shut them up, chef.
Gestures.
All right.
Any Italians in a restaurant that give you trouble.
You tie their
Tie
hands
their
and then they won't be able to say anything. That's so true. We're passionate people. But I think the combination of Filipina and Italian actually works very well too, because Filipinos are very passionate as well. We love eating and coming together over
Yeah.
a good meal, which we can see. So there are, Chris, we were talking earlier, before we sat down to have this meal together, and we were talking about the different kinds of set menus. Chef will tell us about the set menus, but how do you pair the different wines as we come in? So we got a Pinot Grigio. This is nice. Tell us about this one, and then Chef, maybe you can kind of preempt what we can expect that's coming.
Okay, so the set menu consists of, again, appetizer. The entree would be a fish,
Okay.
yeah. And we created also, seasonally for this set lunch or set menus so that people will be enticed to go back,
Okay.
so they don't get bored with the same offering that we have.
And the set menus are very affordable. I
It is.
remember
It
seeing
is.
for Mother's Day that you guys had before. There was, I think it was one.
That's the price will be 1,400.
Yeah,
That
so
will be for
under
3
one
courses and 1,700 for 4 courses. That's
four-
included the dessert.
Imagine.
As the token Cebuano, I have to give my
Your 2 cents?
my 2 cents about
Yeah.
that and my stamp of approval. 3 courses for how much?
3 courses
For
for
1,400.
1,400.
Tell me about the courses first. What
That
are we
will be your
having?
appetizer, that you have your pasta, and you have your main course.
What is your main course?
The main course, you have your
Choice.
choices.
choices
fish,
of 3.
chicken, and you have your Australian beef chick.
Well, so you do get a
Check.
nice piece of steak or a nice piece of beef for 1,400, and then you
1,400.
have those courses. Okay, so we're having fish next, you said? This was
Yeah.
fish? Yeah, so Chris, tell us about how you paired the wine with this
So I
next
paired the
dish
wine
that's coming.
because the next one will be more on citrusy again and more creamy. Of course, freshness of the food.
Okay.
Because as you can see, we have a live station here.
Yeah.
So as soon as they cook it, they bring it to the table, so we can enjoy.
And this is a Pinot Grigio.
This is a Pinot Grigio
This is
from
Italian.
Italy.
Yeah,
Correct.
this is an Italian wine. I like Italian.
Sure.
Right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
Sure.
Do you want to teach our viewers, because of course sharing is caring, we love educating our viewers, how would we taste this?
So first, of course, you observe the wine. You just see how it looks, the
Okay.
clarity and everything.
So if this is whiskey, we'd be looking at the legs, right? So
Yes.
The
that's
legs
right.
as well.
right.
Yes,
We
We
the
can
legs.
look at the legs with the wine.
If you
don't
do like
you?
this,
you do, right?
you do let it. Yes,
With the viscosity
the
of it.
wines, of
Okay,
course, it's the same
okay.
thing.
Okay.
And then
So
of
the
course,
legs.
the legs, and you can see, and then of course you can start swirling, just to enhance and to take out the flavors of the wines.
To release the
To release the
flavors.
flavors.
Oh, okay. So that's
And-
why you
You
swing
know
it
your
around.
food and wine.
Yes.
No, I'm just pretending to be a Philistine, so he gets the spotlight.
Within one group.
Mm-hmm.
No, but really, because so for a regular Cebuano, we did not grow up with an appreciation for wine. It's a tropical region. We don't need wines to warm us up,
Yes.
right? So we rather have something cold to drink. So wine appreciation comes with your exposure to travel, exposure to other people who like wine. It's not intrinsic or it's not natural to the Filipino to like
Not
wine.
actually. Yes.
We
It's a
do have our
hard
tuba. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
hard market.
Yes.
And everyone started with the same one. We're not going to talk about
You
it.
don't have to.
We don't talk, but we know which one we're talking about.
Okay.
And then you have to appreciate.
Chef is wondering though.
different,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Off the camera. I'll tell you.
Later.
Starts with the letter N.
And then you can start to smell it.
Yes.
Of course. And then you can get some of those aromas and everything.
So what are
that
we
you
smelling
expecting.
here?
So you can smell,
What hint?
florals,
Mm-hmm.
honeys, and
That's a
everything.
suggestive. Okay, hold on. Don't tell me. Don't influence me. Like you see.
Should we cover our eyes?
Okay, cover your eyes.
See, right?
Blind tasting.
Test blind.
Blind tasting.
Because I always find that fascinating when they say, "Oh, I get a hint of nutmeg or honey because of the terroir." Right? That's
Yes,
what
of
they
course.
say.
Yes,
Where
this is
it grows.
This
But
is good to
scientifically
You have to
speaking,
go for years of school
Yeah.
for this, diba?
Not
No,
as
it's-
simple as that, really.
No, it's not. I mean, this is why when I'm asked also, someone says, what do you like, red or white? No, what kind of wine do you like? I'll say red. But I like this
So
one
can you
too. I like
smell
Pinot
some
Grigio.
apples? Apples,
The crisp of it,
crisp,
yes.
okay?
Oh,
Because you told me that there's
interesting.
apple. I can
Yes,
smell
so
it.
you,
Now you
need to
can.
believe
So
me.
it's very
you know?
suggestive,
Right?
right? I love that whole thing about wine is that when the sommelier,
Can
Yes.
we taste it already?
I already did.
You can taste it.
And are you supposed to swirl it around your
Yes.
mouth so that all of
All
the
the
Underneath the
flavors
tongue.
will be
flavors,
trapped
right?
inside.
Some parts of your tongue can only taste certain.
Sometimes they
Flavors.
do it, smell it,
And
and
then-
then take out to your nose.
Ah.
Wait, hold on. So
1 second, huh?
okay, exhale it.
Like to breathe out.
Bring it out
Wait,
in
so
your
that's
nose.
polite.
Then you can taste
Not
it.
polite.
You can have
I get what you mean. Okay, hold on.
So,
the citrus comes out
Yes.
of the lime. If you can
Actually-
taste it.
I can taste the citrus.
Citrus.
That I can.
Yes.
So, fun little fact tidbit. My mom worked for the Italian government for a long time, promoting Italian wine
Oh.
and food. So, she taught us, how you have to taste it and how you have to smell it. And then even during wine tastings, the many wine tastings that she would organize.
Spit it out, right?
Spit it out.
Yes.
Why on
Yeah.
earth would
They do,
you
no?
Spit it out.
Spit it out.
Otherwise, you get too drunk to be
Just, yeah.
objective.
We don't have to spit here.
No, not
No,
tonight.
Cheers. Not tonight. Not tonight.
We swallow.
Cheers.
Can we say that? I just did already. I love this show already.
Yes, we have fun.
We don't spit.
No.
We don't spit.
Okay. These look fantastic. Little pockets. Chef, what do we have here?
Okay, of course. No?
Pizza and pasta.
Pasta.
So another favorite for this outlet really is our pizza.
Okay.
As you can see, the crust, the burnt part of it, it's all a indication of a good pizza.
It has to be burnt.
It has to be like that. It looks very authentic.
Okay, and it tastes very authentic
for
as
sure,
well.
for sure.
So how many degrees does the pizza oven get to? Because I know there's like,
Well,
it's got to be like 300 or something.
Very hot.
600 degrees.
Because we cook it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we cook it very quick.
Like
it's
5
kinda Like
minutes.
5 minutes and it's done. No? And it's done.
This is what the Italians call fast food.
Pasta.
This is your version of fast food.
Yeah.
5 minutes only.
Fast
Yep.
It's out of the oven.
Please have a try. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so while I don't know if the camera can see, can we show the ravioli? Because I'll put it right on top of your plate, Chef. Is that
Sure.
okay?
You'll be fine. Yeah.
We will dig into the pizza, but let's show the ravioli because I'm sure. Tell us what are in these little pasta pockets.
Okay. Again, I just wanted to say that all the pastas here that we make are homemade. So
Made fresh daily.
made fresh daily. So we do our own raviolis.
So everyone does it daily,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't stay for long, so it's fresh every day.
It's fresh every day.
Wow.
That's what we wanted to really have, to make it daily, and then we serve it right away. So those are semolina flour, and inside, of course, I told you before that it's going to be a fish dish. So, you want to try?
Sure.
Sure. But it's only.
Are we gonna
I
show
think I'm gonna show you.
what's inside that ravioli?
Sure.
Like every culture has a dumpling, so this would be the Italian
Yes,
dumpling.
this is the
Italian
Italian
Yeah, they call it the Italian
Italian
dumplings.
dumpling.
There.
So
Oh, there's
it's all
beef
meat.
inside. Okay, so let's show
So those are beef cheeks. So the beef
Oh.
the
cheeks.
most tender.
So the process again.
We can show that.
Sure.
Yeah. Just gonna lift
We
it
stole a
little.
cow smile for
Yeah.
this.
So the process.
There's a cow that's not
okay.
smiling.
So this is the cow smile.
Yeah, we'll be smiling after
Beef
we
cheeks
eat it.
will be smiling.
So the good thing about the dish again, so we put a lot of effort into it. Aside from doing the homemade pasta, the raviolis, the beef are also cooked
No, you go
for a
ahead.
long time.
Serve. Okay,
Please.
so this is braised.
It's braised, of course, with wine.
Okay.
So all the flavors are there, and then we cook it together with a few seasoning only and olive oil.
Sorry, we're reaching over you. Few seasoning, and this is a tomato
It's a tomato
based
base,
sauce.
yeah.
I'm just gonna get this one half, and then you can get the other one. So you can see it's packed, generous. This is the dumpling. So we have our Italian dumpling, ravioli.
I would suggest you put more sauce.
More sauce. You'll give me more
Sorry,
sauce.
yeah.
You gotta have the sauce, right? Gotta have the sauce.
So you get to enjoy it more.
So Jude, we actually eat on this show.
I know, I love it. Yes.
Yes.
No stopping and then, get a pretty shot. No, we're going to eat the whole way
We're gonna
through.
eat it and we're gonna enjoy it and we're gonna give our real, authentic opinion of how delicious this is, guys. So
And up to this point, no one has asked for salt or pepper.
Well,
so that's always a good sign.
So it's a good sign that we
Or hot
got it the right
sauce.
way.
right.
Did
Do you
we?
hate that?
We?
Do Cebuanos really use a lot of hot sauce?
A lot of
Hot sauce?
Hot sauce?
not.
I feel like you
no,
just like things
no,
sweet.
No, we like things sweet generally, and we're used to flavors that are mild. It has everything to do with our terroir, or the way that the island is long.
You love
like
meat,
the
right?
wine.
I do love
Cebuanos
meats.
love meat.
Yes, we love
Cebuanos.
meats. It's long and it's narrow. The island of itself of Cebu. So the idea is fresh produce is very close to the sea.
Okay.
So everything is fresh. We didn't need to preserve our food with a lot of
So you
spices.
consume it right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
So we consume it very simply in just a grill. So you grill it with just salt and pepper. It's very simple.
The sugba.
Sugba.
Very
Keeping,
the last.
And
yes.
then the
Yeah.
yes,
Sutukil.
sutukil, which
Yeah.
is
Sutukil.
interestingly enough, sutukil is a portmanteau of sugba,
Yes.
tuwa,
Tuwa.
and kilaw.
Mhm.
So sugba is to grill it, tuwa is
Soup.
cooked in soup,
Yeah.
and then the kilaw is the kilawin.
Kilawin.
Cooked in vinegar.
So what people have forgotten is the idea was cook one fish all three ways. That was the original sutukil.
So then there's no waste, zero
No
waste.
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 So you would take the whole
So three
fish
ways.
and sutukil it. So
Okay.
parts of it, so the tail would be grilled, the belly would be in the soup, and no, the head would be
The
in
head
the
will
soup,
be on the soup.
and then
And
the
then the belly
belly
is
would
grilled.
be kilawin.
Kilawin.
Yes.
Kilawin.
So that was the idea of the whole sutukil. Serve one fish three ways, and then has grown from exponentially from that. But that's how it started.
So that actually is the zero waste as well.
Yes, from head to
Automatically.
is that the head to
So-
tail
so it would be
cuisine,
like-
right?
Yes. Snout to tail, right? Or
Yeah.
nose to tail.
Yes,
Yeah.
nose to tail
Nose
for
to tail.
cattle, and
Yeah.
so every single part
Everything
of
is
it is
used.
used. Yes.
Everything's used.
Which we love to do.
Mm.
Which we love to do.
Well, yeah, I think we have a responsibility to do that as well.
Forget to
Yeah.
pair with the
Because
wine.
of sustainability and scarcity. I want to just
Yeah.
comment
Tastes
on the
different, actually.
beef cheek ravioli. The beef was so tender, the cheeks. Seasoned just right, you mentioned. No one has asked
No,
for salt
nobody
or
asked for salt and pepper. Which is
Um,
a good
and
sign.
It's an
The
insult,
pasta?
right, to the chef.
Yeah, it is.
So we hit the right spot.
We're hot sauce.
You did. You hit the right spot.
Everything with hot sauce, no.
Right, don't do that. What is going on?
Not in your
And-
primo.
And the pasta was cooked perfectly.
Al dente.
Al dente. And there is no other way
Mhm.
to actually order pasta. Because you shouldn't have to say it. It's natural in an Italian restaurant that your pasta is done al dente. It's actually a given. We have another pasta on the table. Dude, could you pass it over so we could just show the viewers?
This one looks
This
interesting.
looks like a fish pasta.
Is it shrimp?
No?
Is it?
Is it
So
shrimp?
it's shrimp
Oh, it is. Okay.
and then a black ink spaghetti.
Oh.
Okay.
So we really wanted to not really have the flavors, but of course the appearance as well, right? So as you can see, the dish itself really looks good.
Okay.
Which is the challenge?
So
Because
this-
how do you make black ink pasta beautiful?
Well,
Right?
there are people who would think black is beautiful, right?
True,
Black
true.
is beautiful.
I do.
and-
Black is elegant. Black is
I
beautiful.
do.
elegant. And, while it can be an acquired taste, the squid ink paella, the squid ink pasta, it's something that I think pairs well with the right flavors.
Yep. Mhm.
Right, so here we've paired it with, this also looks like a tomato cream.
Tomato cream base and of course shrimps and the richness of the pasta. So please try.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Do we have,
So
should
I'll
we use
just
the
yeah, I'll just use
tongs
the
over
tongs.
here?
Thank you.
And then we'll take and pass. So is this the Pinot Grigio also goes
This is a
with
Pinot Grigio.
the seafood
Can
pasta?
go, sir. As
It
we
can-
mentioned, there's nothing wrong.
But
There's
okay,
no
so
I
don't
serve you this one.
crucify me, but I was
Chef.
thinking
Welcome.
because this is rich.
Okay, well,
It also
we'll
goes
pass
nice with
as
the
well.
red.
red wine as
Yes.
well.
you.
Okay.
But of
'Cause
course,
I was thinking that,
yes.
like, because this is super rich.
Yes.
It might also go well with a
Red.
wine. Not too robust, but
So
Like a
what
red,
red
right?
would you pair with this?
what would you? As a sommelier, chef.
You can have it with a little lighter with a bit
With a lighter red.
Pinot Noir. Yeah.
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
Okay, I'm gonna get perfect bite. I'm getting a scallop with this.
Tongs, yeah.
Chef, would you normally would you go for a seafood pasta or would you go for a meatier version?
I would love seafood for a pasta. No?
Light.
It's really yeah. You can play around with the flavors, the textures, the freshness of the flavors of the shrimp. It's either mussel, scallops, shrimp. You can play around.
So good.
Yeah.
The pasta.
Even vongole is also one dish that you should visit and try. You should try and visit.
Which one?
A vongole pasta.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Clams with lots of wines. You cook it right away and straight. While it's
I've seen creamy vongoles done.
yeah, there are a lot of versions.
Yeah.
But the best way for me to
good.
really have is
Oh, is it?
without the cream.
I love it.
You like it without just a white wine.
Yes, white
Right.
wine, so you can taste the freshness of the clams, and the pasta. So it's only two flavors or two main ingredients, and not clashing.
really good Italian food is usually, well, any dish really, an Italian cuisine, I would say. Because I'm thinking of like Indian and Malaysian. Those are so many spices.
So many spices.
So many spices. But if we're talking about Italian cuisine, simple flavors, simple ingredients actually
Exactly.
produce the best flavors. You mentioned wine earlier for the vongole. Is there a little wine in this sauce as well?
We actually put a lot of wines in our.
In all of the sauces, no?
We use it for deglazing. It really empowers the flavor.
So there's a little hint for
There is,
you
there is.
in deglazing.
We can see it in your face already, Chef.
See,
Turning a
I
little
told
bit
you.
red. Yes.
If I would recall, no. If I would recall.
Because you started off
why
by
I
saying,
drink
I
occasionally."
only drink occasionally, and this would be an occasion for you to drink. And we're all seeing that, Chef.
I think
See, I don't lie. I don't lie.
I think Chef's
Sorry.
enjoying also the food.
Chris, let's put
Thank
that
you.
on that side. So, how do you guys like this pasta? The pasta has bite. It like bites a little bit back, which of
It's
course
al dente.
is firm.
Al
It's
dente.
al dente.
It's al
You
dente
can
again.
tell it's fresh.
And the seafood is there.
The hint
The hint.
of the how would you describe the squid ink? It's really does taste like the sea, that salty, briny. How would you describe when you enjoy the squid, ink? Yeah, so it's so hard to describe.
So funny enough, when I eat anything that's squid ink,
Yeah.
the first word that comes into my mind is earthy.
Yes,
It's like-
interesting.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like an earthy version of the sea. It's like sandy or it's like
Yeah,
it's the earth
briny,
in the
earthy.
sea. What I'm curious about this, because you started with saying that you're Italian American, and every Italian American who eats at an Italian restaurant
Yeah.
would always compare everything to her nonna's cooking. How does this compare to your nonna's cooking?
Well, I will be very honest. My nana, we call her Nana,
Uh-huh.
my nonna, she cooked only a few dishes. She would make eggplant parm. She would make marinara. I think that's just a dish that you would compare. Like when you go into a Japanese restaurant, you get shirashi because that's your go-to. That's what you can use as your comparison. Marinara, I think, is the dish that you can go
Like
into
a
any
universal.
Italian. It's the universal.
Yes.
You go into an Italian restaurant. If they make a good marinara, then
It's a good
It's a good
Italian
indication.
restaurant.
And if you fail to do this, well, it's a test also.
It is
It's a big
almost.
test for the chef.
True.
It is almost, right?
Cannot do a proper marinara, then bye-bye.
Right, exactly.
Bye-bye.
Exactly. It's the first thing that Italians will order. And she would make a meat sauce on Sunday, which is meatballs that's obviously braised with neck bones and brajol, or braciola if you're Italian, brajol if you're American Italian, and stew it and braise it for hours on Sunday. So those are the dishes that she would really make. But my nana, my fond memories of her, she lived with us growing up as well as many of the Filipinos. So maybe that's something that
Exactly,
also,
yes.
multi-generational
Yes,
homes.
in one household. Yes.
In one household, you'll have the support of the older generation raising the grandkids as well. She lived with us for a long
Recipes passed on from one
The other
generation to the
generation.
other.
time. Yeah, but my mom was really the one who would cook. And
With a Filipino in the family.
the Filipino was the one who would cook.
Oh.
And she catered to my dad's palate. So we
So
ate
Italian.
We ate Italian growing up. The Filipino food always came on the weekends when the titas would come over and play mahjong.
So how does the Jollibee spaghetti
Jollibee.
go down with them?
Well, I have grown to love it.
Okay.
I will not shun sweet spaghetti. My Italian cousins might disown me for that, but I will not shun sweet spaghetti because, of course, I have grown to love all of the different things that the Philippines has to offer. So, guys, we also want to hear what you love about Italian food. Go ahead and download the Rappler Communities app. Join the Food and Travel channel. I hope you guys will too, so you can have the conversation with us. Tell us what you would love, not just what your nonna or your lola would make, but what you would like to try here in Il Primo. We do have some giveaways for the viewers. This is our third and final episode, guys, so you have to make sure you follow Philly NUSTAR Resort Hotel. Philly, you also have to follow Il Primo, NUSTAR Resort Cebu, right? We have that. Philly NUSTAR Cebu, Philly Hotel NUSTAR Cebu, and Il Primo, because you guys will have a chance to win 2 dinners,
Oh,
dinner
wow.
for 2 in Philly Cafe. So there's 2 options to win there. And then you'll also win an overnight stay in
Yeah.
Philly Hotel NUSTAR Cebu. So we want to hear from you. Maybe you want to tell us what your favorite episode was in this whole
Out from the
New
100.
Star and
Yeah.
100. Guys, this is our 102nd
102nd.
episode.
This one.
This one. So
We got a drink to that.
cheers to
Congratulations.
102.
102.
102. Wow.
102.
Cheers to 102.
Congratulations.
Are you guys superstitious that you have to look in the eyes when
I
you're
know,
cheering?
otherwise in
Yes.
7 years, you know what, right?
So we
So
love
we need to
it.
do it again.
Cheers and living
I'm
down.
all out of wine.
I love it. I love
So
it.
you love the pasta. Now I would like for you to try the pizza as well.
Okay.
Let
Yeah.
me.
So we have pizza there. I'm going to put my pasta aside, but we also have another pasta on the table.
Yeah.
And also some more beef cheeks now. So while we're serving the pizza, maybe we can swap out your plate and maybe share the beef cheeks or even the rigatoni.
So let's go with all the pastas first.
Okay.
I
so
miss
let's
it.
Thank you
tell
very
the
much.
viewers about this because
No
again,
worries.
it's just as pretty
Yeah.
as it
So
is.
from the previous pasta, we have a tomato
It's sorry.
base.
It's fine. I'll just
We
put it down.
have a squid ink.
Thank you.
Now we have
cream.
cream base.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you craves for. No? You have different kinds of pasta. So this one is suitable
Good with
for
Sure.
small pieces of meat. No?
Okay.
That's why it is designed like this, so that the meats can insert the pasta together with the sauce.
That's why there's ridges.
Yes,
There's
there's
ridges,
ridges and there's a big
rigatoni.
hole in it. No,
Eating like
again.
with your hands. You
Very
gotta eat your pasta, your pizza with
Very New
your
Yorker,
hands.
right.
Very New York. You just gotta fold it in half now.
yep. So please go and dig with this one.
Okay.
For sure, it's gonna be a good combination.
You know what? Since they're having pizza, I'll try the rigatoni,
Yeah.
and then we can all talk
have-
about what we're trying. So tell us about the pizza. Maybe. Well, you're taking a bite now, so I won't ask you to tell us about it 1st. We can serve this, and maybe tell us about the next dish.
So the next
That's
dish,
so interesting on the side over there.
which one? The vitello tonato. Okay.
I love the arugula.
So
Arugula.
again,
Love the
Crunchy.
I love the crunch and the like the hint of
Bitterness.
as well as the spiciness
A
of
little
arugula.
peppery, right?
Peppery,
Arugula is
spicy,
a little
with
peppery.
Yes.
But kids don't care for it too much. But when you mix it in with other things, they can take it. Yeah, they won't pick it out.
Like, okay, for the mothers out there who want
Yeah.
their kids to try arugula, what
Yeah.
do you do? What's
I
your,
really do
what's
mix it
your
in with other things, but there's a dish that I make. I'm not sure what it's called. Maybe you might know it. You might be able. My mom used to make it. She would take like very thin sliced beef, and just sear it really quickly. Back home in New York, I guess we would call it I-round. Very lean cut of meat. Sear it very quickly. Serve it with arugula and.
a beef carpaccio.
Yeah, no, it's
Carpaccio?
cooked. It's cooked.
It's cooked. Okay.
Yeah. But it was something very simple and paired with the meat, the protein, the steak, they'll take a little bite of it
okay.
because it's just really quick. My 2 bigger kids, they do like salad. So they'll enjoy arugula mixed in with all the other greens. Yeah. I just want to tell you guys, I can smell the truffle. You can see is it the tartufata or tartufata here?
Tartufata, yeah.
Yeah. You can see the little bits. I'm gonna pass in case you want to have some too
Yes,
while
please.
you're enjoying.
Yeah.
How's the crust on that pizza?
the crust is good, and I know that you've made this from scratch, right?
Yes.
So everything made from scratch. Gotta hand it to a restaurant who puts in the effort to
Exactly.
make things from scratch.
Again, while you're enjoying that, I have here on my plate another beautiful dish. No. So
It
it's
does look beautiful.
yeah. So it's a vitello tonato with veal.
So that's veal.
Yeah, veal, and it's a
Which
classic
the
one.
Young cow.
young
cow.
Yeah, thinly
Like
sliced.
suckling pig.
So we
Really
cook it this
tender.
way. Real tender. So we classically paired it with a tonato, which is a tuna sauce
Right.
with capers. So again, another flavor profile, which a good combination that we will not touch. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to reinvent the dish, Maybe we can deconstruct it, but the flavor should stay the same.
Mhm.
So this is one dish that we are really keen not to really play around.
This one is delicious too.
It is.
The veal. So is the veal cured?
It
It's
is.
a cured meat, like, or is this
Enjoying your
cooked
pizza.
or smoked? How
Both,
do you
nice.
prepare the veal?
Well, a lot of ways to prepare this, but this one is really poached.
Oh,
So we
it's
sear it
poached.
first, yeah,
Okay.
with herbs, and we crush it with butter. And then we wrap it, tightly so
Yes.
that we can have a nice shape, retain its nice shape, and we poach it.
Poached as opposed to sous vide or is it?
So there are a lot of ways to cook it. So sous vide is a modern way of cooking,
Yeah.
but normally during the time I was preparing this, it's more on the poach.
Poached.
So because
So it doesn't
poach-
take a long time. It's much shorter.
since it's a tender meat, we don't really need to cook it for a long time.
Ah, tama. Okay.
Yeah, and of course, poaching, you can either be, you can infuse flavors with poaching. Huh? You can
Okay.
put herbs, you can put whatever you wanted to be infused. So we prefer poaching for this. Yeah, again, so we poach it, we slice it thinly, and then the sauce, it's basically tuna, capers, and we get the consistency of like a mayo-based sauce.
Similar.
Similar.
So this is definitely more like an appetizer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please try.
This is exciting. Let's try.
Another one to try.
Yeah, were we able to show the viewers that dish? So what would we call this again?
It's veal with tomato sauce.
Yes. And the capers, I'm sure, like they pop like little bursts of flavor with the
Salty.
Well, salty and sour.
salty sour. No?
Again, another compliment with the dish.
So we have to make perfect subo with this again.
I know exactly. Take a little bit of everything and then
One bite.
with just one bite.
So would subo be the same in Cebuano?
Yeah. It would be hungit. The
Hungit.
word for subo is hungit. So perfect hungit.
Honit.
Perfect. Perfect
H-U-N-G-I-T. Hungit.
bite.
Perfect bite.
Perfect bite.
Perfect bite.
Perfect
Yes.
bite. Okay.
Perfect bite. I live for the perfect
For the
bite.
perfect bite. That would be a
And
nice column name. Or,
Oh my
So I'm gonna beat you to it. Don't worry.
Oh my
Have food 143. The perfect bite.
The perfect bite. There is, and there's so many.
Striving for
ways.
the perfect
I
bite.
feel like I want to be able to share this with you guys. Also, I want you. There's a little.
Before we
piece.
move on to from the pasta,
Yeah.
so I have a dream, Chance.
Okay.
From someone who's not Italian American or is not a chef.
Tapos yun.
I've always been fascinated with the fact that there are hundreds of types of pasta. And not one restaurant has explained why Italians have made them and what goes best with the others. So NUSTAR, if this works, my dream is you do like a pasta lesson, not just a wine pairing lesson. But for example, you explained earlier, this is the rigatoni, right?
Rigatoni.
Which is good because meat or the sauce gets stuck inside
The two.
the tube, right?
Yes.
So it works this
And
way.
then the ridges collect the sauce.
sauce.
Exactly.
Yes.
So these are the things that most Filipinos don't understand or don't know. So we only know spaghetti. We only know spaghetti and eventually macaroni. This
Yes.
might be something for you that's, you grew
Right.
up with and it feels so natural for you, but we don't know why there are
All the
different kinds of pastas,
shapes.
all the different shapes that actually go with a sauce that it comes with
A particular.
perfectly.
Right.
Because some sauces don't have meat in it, so you
Yes.
probably need sauces with meat with some bridges that will catch the meat, so you
Yeah.
get the perfect soup or the
Yes.
perfect hungit. That has never
Thought
been
about
explained.
this for a long time, and I love
I have
that
thought
you
about
are
it.
actually. I mean,
It's
you
been a
see,
dream.
It makes so sense of like figuring out how, why, and
There's so
even
many.
how to make
Yes,
it as
because
well.
people, like the ordinary Filipino would like spaghetti pasta with all of the different sauces. Why not, right?
Right.
And then comes an Italian and says, "Oh no, we do say rigatoni
Yeah.
because
Everybody
exactly."
goes,
So
"Why too
no one has ever done
complicated?"
that. So NUSTAR, if this works, I need royalties. Okay, but it's always been a dream. Instead of just everyone offers wine pairing, right?
Yes.
But why not a pasta explanation or pasta pairing?
Since you've been
Spice.
explaining the pasta, no? Okay.
No
So
one
ano-
explains it.
Yeah, another thing, no? What about lasagna? What-
Exactly.
what
Why is
about
it layered?
lasagna?
Yes.
I think lasagna is an American Italian thing, is it? Or is it an Italian thing?
I think it's also an Italian.
Italian.
It is, okay.
It is. So lasagnas, as you can see, there are a lot of layers
Yes.
with the sauces, with the pasta. So I agree on that. No? Every pasta has its own.
It should go perfectly
Yeah.
with a sauce, right? For a reason.
Right.
It depends on where you're gonna cook.
Yes.
What you're gonna pair it with.
Yes. So I learned this like many years ago when I was talking to chefs also about pasta. And it occurred to me that it doesn't come naturally to the Filipino. It's like going to another cuisine and you don't know what goes on.
really
and-
understand.
Yes, or where to dip this. Like when you go to a Filipino buffet, someone has to explain to you that this dip,
Sausawan.
exactly that's the
There's
Southeast
so
Asian
many.
sausawan, which goes with what? And if you're a foreigner, you come in and you dip the wrong thing on there, it tastes different. It's
Of
wrong,
course,
right?
of
Now, why would
course.
you like the kare-kare? We were mentioning kare-kare.
Yes.
It goes with the bagoong.
Yes.
But if you dip your
Sinigang
kare-kare
is
into
with cheese.
yes, with
Suka,
suka, then it's
toyo.
not
It's a
right.
Doesn't work.
Right? It doesn't work. So, but how would you know?
Very wrong.
How would you know?
So it's a
Right? If it's
sausawan
on a
pairing.
buffet, sausawan pairing.
Ah.
Or in this case, like a pasta
A
pairing.
pasta pairing.
What
We're
pasta?
figuring out, yeah. So there is a ton of different kinds of pastas
Hundreds.
as well, right?
And the question is why?
Why?
It's not just aesthetic.
Variety.
It's for a reason.
Italians love variety, and of course, all the different sauces require. They really do. I think we need to learn why with each one. I actually learned that there is a specific type of pasta that goes with.
Sauce.
True to what you were saying, with a wild boar sauce. So I've had this wild boar sauce, which of course is a little bit more gamey. It also is I think a little bit of an acquired taste, but it was a longer pasta that had it looked like it was rolled.
It's similar to a penne or
It's long like a penne, but
But
instead of being a tube,
Okay.
it was flat where the sides rolled up and kind of came
Oh.
over each other.
Okay.
Not necessarily a gemelli, but something similar to it. And I think it's really interesting.
See how
that you
rich
bring
this
up-
is? Like you have a gemelli. I haven't even heard of that. And like, why not teach that
Right.
to the
we need to
ordinary
travel more.
Filipino?
We need to travel.
Yes. Or in the absence of people
Yeah.
getting the opportunity to travel, teach them.
Yes.
Have
You
them
can come and learn
come
at
to Il Primo.
I'll come back for
Royalties.
that. I'll come back for that.
Royalties.
Can we do that?
Sure, of course.
How fun would that be? So the rigatoni was delicious. Side story.
Another dish.
Jelly loves the rigatoni here. My son Diego loves anything cream based and truffle.
Okay.
So good. He enjoyed this particular dish, the rigatoni dish. So it's like the truffle.
Oh.
It's called the NUSTAR. What's the
It's
name
one
of
of the
truffle?
signature.
Yeah, this is one of the
NUSTAR.
signature dishes here. Is the truffle with the shaved prosciutto on top.
I don't mind.
So
Oh,
it's so good. That one is so good. I
Another
think that's
dish.
my favorite as
Can-
well.
Especially with the truffle.
This is a meat dish, right? So we've had our pastas, we've had our pizza, we tried the veal. You tried the veal, Chris. What did you think of the veal?
The veal sauteed,
Nice, right?
delicious, tender.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it's delicious. So good.
Tender. It's got the tuna. It's got the briny caper.
So if
Light.
you love braised
Light.
dishes, this one is for you.
Okay.
Yeah, another great braised dish that we have here. So it's a braised chick
The cats
again.
aren't smiling again.
I know. The cheeks are coming up
cheeks
at
are
us
coming
again.
Beef
We're
cheeks is so
smiling. The
hard.
guys aren't.
Beef cheeks are hard to come by, though. I know, like when we were in Manila, there was
It's only
something
two per cow. Right?
Exactly.
Two, the left and the right. So I don't know which part is this one.
I can tell with a bite.
Yeah.
I can tell if it's a left
I'm not
or
that
the right
specialist.
one.
No, which one is it? The left or the right? I don't know.
So funny.
So yeah, so this one really goes well with the potato. So really velvety mashed potatoes. So it's also a one dish that will really make your day. I mean, this dish for me is enough.
Yes, it's very hearty.
It's very hearty.
Yeah.
It's a good combination. So the starch is there, the meat is there. So what else are you gonna look for?
So it's meat and
Right.
potatoes that make it Italian.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Exactly.
And before I forget, those three meals that we had, including the Australian beef chick and the rigatoni, and
Yeah.
the other salad
All
is
those.
included in the 1,400.
Oh.
Yes.
So you get beef cheeks for
Beef
that
chicks, you have
1,400.
the pasta, and you have the appetizers.
So the Cebuano would say check.
Check.
Check. Thank you. Very
Not
Check.
check, please, but
It's really a
Big
good,
check.
really good
Yeah.
opportunity for you to try. You know, for you to try. And we're gonna be coming up with more dishes
Yeah.
right after we launch this one. So there's more to come, really. So it's not only this dish that we're gonna be featuring for.
so what's the inventory of the menu for Il Primo? Just Il Primo. Like, on average, how many dishes do you have now?
On average, around 60.
60, which is a
60
good number.
choices.
Yeah.
That is a good number.
I'm always
More than that,
very
it's gonna be confusing.
of
with the
restaurants
kitchen.
that
Right.
have too many
Too many.
things.
Because then you also don't know how fast they move.
That's why we
Or
always
how
come
well
up with
they do them,
Right.
right? So if it's a smaller number, then you must do them really
Very
well.
well. Very well.
That's always like
So,
a barometer for me.
One thing I also want to say though, the portions that are coming out of the kitchen, these are normal portions. This is
Those
what
are
we
normal
would serve.
portions, yeah.
So again, I mean, if you look at how we're enjoying the meal, the portions are very generous.
You can share.
You can absolutely share, right? So,
Worth every penny that you pay. It is.
well, you know, customers and diners are so much more discerning now after the pandemic. We want to visit brands that jive with our own ideals, you know, in terms of like nose to tail,
Yes.
making sure that it's sustainable, making sure that, you know, what we're getting is also worth it.
Yes,
We're more discerning, I think.
especially with the 3 courses menu,
Yeah.
very affordable.
That is actually. That's a great way if you want to try the different dishes. You're in Il Primo, but you also have set menus in other outlets as
We
well.
have.
Like Mott 32
Mott
had a
32
set
has its own
menu.
set. Il Primo has its own set. Sintindi, Fina, everybody has their own sets.
Yeah. So, do you have something coming up for Father's Day? Father's Day is just like a few weeks away. Yeah.
We also have set no for Father's Day.
Set menu is
Yeah.
almost the same concept, but on Father's Day, which is available on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on the day of Father's Day.
Father's Day
So
weekend.
it's- yes, but different menu,
Yeah.
food selection.
Per day?
You can, because Father's Day is normally like on
Sunday. For the
Sunday.
duration of
Yeah.
it.
So what we did is, of course, it's very crowded during Mother's Day, of course, on Sunday.
I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody wants to take
Yes,
mom
of course.
out.
Especially this coming
Yeah.
Father's Day. So what we did is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So the whole
Spread
weekend
it out.
you can
Yes.
celebrate Dad. And what more does Dad want? Though I gotta be honest, it's bringing out Dad for steak, which I know is coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah?
After this dish, we have a lot of steaks to finish.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Please try.
I'm ready for
I'm ready.
steak.
Well, we're digging
Yeah.
into the
This
meat and
first.
potatoes.
And so I'm just gonna cut this a little bit. Maybe we can also ask for some serving. Oh my gosh, you didn't even need a knife to
Knife.
cut this. This is so tender. It's obviously been braising. Chef, can I use your...
Sure.
This hasn't been touched. You can see the rosemary. I can smell it already. There's definitely wine in this as well. It's braised in wine.
It's cooked in wine with juice.
Okay. I'll just
Thank
take a little bite. You can see how tender. It's fork tender. You can take a bite. So I know, tell us about the steaks that are coming out. And then that will also give Chris an opportunity to tell us about the wines.
All right. So the steaks that are going to be served, we have 3 cuts.
Three cuts, yes.
Yeah. So first, we're going to have a ribeye, all U.S. prime.
Because we still
The
have
second
steaks.
is we're going
I
to
don't
have a
mind.
T-bone and a tomahawk. So all cooked in our JOSPER grill. And for sure, you're going to love those. So please
This
save
is
some
so
space for the steak.
Well, I just took a little bite, and you know, when beef cheeks are very tender when done well, right?
you.
By braising them, but it's jammy. It's not chewy. It doesn't fight you back.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very. I mean, it's so tender, and it's perfect with the mashed potatoes.
It is perfect. with
Do you
mashed
guys
potatoes.
prefer mashed, roasted, fried?
Are you a potato lover?
Do you guys
Not
like
particularly, but I would prefer the mashed potatoes.
The mashed potatoes.
especially with this?
Yeah.
I do love mashed potatoes.
Polenta.
Polenta.
I love polenta. Do we have polenta on the menu here?
Yeah, we do also have polentas, but it's not in the regular menu. Not in the regular menu.
I really enjoy polenta. When Nino and I were on our honeymoon, We stayed in Tuscany for a while, and my favorite dish, so simple, was just polenta with 3 different kinds of mushrooms.
Oh wow.
On
Okay,
it.
I can imagine.
And that was like something we it felt like an indulgence, but actually it's pretty good for you. And
Is this on
That
one of
was-
the months that you go vegan?
no,
Because polenta with the mushrooms.
no, because I still
Sounds
put butter. I
vegan.
still put butter
Okay,
in my
okay.
polenta,
You cheat.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
No, but the months that I do go vegan, I feel like it's just something I need to do to lighten myself. Maybe I don't know. I don't
And-
do it often.
Detox.
Once a year, lang. So we have steaks coming out.
Yes.
And we talked about the oven and how pizza, when done well, it has to be cooked at a certain temperature, done flashed.
Yep.
The steaks, they're cooked just as fast, like in the JOSPER grill, because it's top and bottom cooked at the same time, giving that char grilled almost feel, right?
All right. For the steak, it's a little bit tricky,
Yeah.
because we have different cuts. So we have different. For these types of steaks, I would say normally it goes around 15 minutes to cook for the thin ones.
Okay.
Tomahawk, it will go around 30 to 45
Oh,
minutes.
wow.
This is a big one.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
a long
that's a while.
time.
So if you order, you should order it in advance while you're seated, so that by the time you have your beef, it's perfectly time for you.
It's the perfect time to come out.
Come
If
out.
it's half an hour. Okay.
Right. So is it the same like in Mott 32? If you want duck, you have to make sure you reserve
Pre-order a
ahead of
day.
time.
Pre-order.
Yes, the
Pre-order
day
at least a
before.
day.
Yes.
For the tomahawks and the dry aged steaks, do we have to do that as well?
Not actually, but it requires 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. So
So at
just
least
in
they know.
advance
Yeah.
while you're here, getting to.
Well, they can always shop.
Yeah.
Or always
Play
shop
in the
around.
casino first.
Casino first. And then your steak.
There's a lot of things
Why
to
not?
do.
Fantastic.
But yeah, playing the casino is
Playing
a
the
good
casino.
idea.
I think I need new career.
It's the best pairing.
Shopping,
Casino
It's the best
and
pairing.
eating. Steak
Casino
after.
and
eating,
yeah.
To reward
gaming.
you.
Yes.
Splurge.
Right? But there actually is the misconception, no, might be that NUSTAR might not be family friendly because of the gaming in the casino. Actually, there is so much to do here for the family that my 12-year-old really enjoyed herself. We were hanging out, walking all over the property, from all the way upstairs to down here in the different restaurants, which is good because the property is so big. After you eat, you should walk a little. You have to walk.
With our
because
4
we
floors, but the thing
stuff
is,
ourselves so much.
I don't know if you went to the highest floor. It's
No,
a
I'm-
food court.
So it's perfect. So you can send the kids up also if they choose that they don't want to. You can actually send them upstairs and we can eat down here.
Yeah, even for me, my family loves it here as well. My
Yeah.
wife and my kids, we really enjoy the place. Huh? So if you go here early in the morning, you will not notice the time. Because you're
you
going to
don't.
enjoy
Time gets away
every
from you,
amenity.
I'm sure you guys get a lot of diners and guests on Sunday after
Yeah.
church, and people come for lunch or dinner,
Yes.
right? So
Kids can play, you can eat whichever outlet you wanted to try.
yeah. I wonder if for Father's Day will there also be the crucero? Like will there be the crucero for Father's Day as well? Because that's an option for families. You go out, you watch
That I
the
have not
sunset.
done. Yes.
It's so nice.
You should
I
try
can
this.
imagine.
So you go out, you're on the boat, there's the vibe, there's a DJ.
To the CCLX Bridge, right?
Yes.
Which is the longest bridge in the country
it is.
today. Yes.
It's such an impressive bridge.
Yeah.
Like when
It's
we
the
came
longest in
over
the
the
country.
first time, I was like, wow, this is so. It
Not
looks
only
even more
that it's
impressive
long.
at night.
The architectural design also looks fabulous, right?
Mm-hmm.
The architectural design looks also fabulous. As you can see.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
the longest. It's the longest at 8.2 kilometers, I think. So it connects Cebu City to Cordova, which is in Mactan. So the airport is now closer.
Right.
Takes you only 10 minutes to
To go
cross
back
the
and
bridge.
forth.
Out of curiosity, if you're going to the other route, how long would it take you?
That would, with the traffic, probably 2 hours. So this
hours.
cuts it
So you save a
really
lot of
a
time.
significant
Yeah.
amount
And
of
I will
Okay.
not suggest it. I've been
The old
there.
route?
Yeah, I went
done
to
it the other
Cordova
way.
and I really don't drive so fast because of the scenic view.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was perfect. And then after that, I choose for my place going back here in NUSTAR.
Yeah.
And then it's not Cordova anymore. So the directions
Thank
choose or direct me going to that traffic. Takes me like 1 hour.
So much
1 hour,
longer,
1 hour, yes.
not as scenic. And of course, the view here, that's one of the beautiful things about NUSTAR. You have the
Scenic,
water,
yes.
you have the sea, you have the mountains. You know, if you're high up enough, also you can see that. Oh, he couldn't pour because of my
I
Italian
know.
hands. I'm sorry. He was like, wait, I'm waiting.
You had
She
to
might-
talk with your.
Don't worry, he's professional. Tony is professional.
Speaking of Cordova
so much
Town,
more conscious of it.
of your Italian hands,
my
I wanted to.
Italian hands.
I wanted to share like an insider secret from the token Cebuana in the table. So Cordova Town, just across,
Yeah.
has this little industry that not a lot of people know about. But
Tell me.
this dress that you're wearing,
Yeah.
it's a little bit like in Vietnam where you go to a shop.
Yes.
They measure you and have your dress in an hour after. You choose the fabric. So they have that whole industry just across the bridge, 10 minutes. So if you're
Oh.
staying here for a while,
I'm gonna come back and then you're gonna take me there.
you should do that because what they do is they measure you.
Yeah.
And there's no buttons, no zippers or anything, exactly what you're wearing.
Very simple.
They can have this done for you in an hour.
This is the forgiving dress. That
Yes.
means you can eat a lot.
And it is dirt
Wow.
cheap as well.
Oh
I mean,
my
that because they
gosh.
get imported material. Like it's discarded fabric from all over the world.
Okay,
And they
so it's
stock it
remnants.
there. It's remnants.
Yeah.
They stock it. So you give it a new life. You give it
Oh
a
my
new life
goodness.
and it's
Will
really
you
quick.
take me when I
I
go back?
will.
When I come back,
And it's
you'll take me
only-
there.
So we have to stay at NUSTAR again.
Yes, of
right?
course. Is there any other place you would stay?
And then I'll bring you there. I promise.
Okay.
That's a little secret. That's a little
Promise.
Cebuana secret.
Okay, let's cheers to that.
Cheers
Promise
to-
that to
Little secret.
fun and secrets. Of course,
Cheers.
Cebu inside
Yes,
tips.
insider tips.
Okay. So
But I'm sharing because I've had a lot of wine tonight.
sharing is caring.
Yes.
Guys,
I
share
don't
with
gatekeep,
us.
like I told you.
I know we don't. You're my people, Jude.
Yes.
You're my people. Okay, we have
So, tell us about
Chris.
the wine.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he was getting distracted.
Don't say
He's getting
sorry,
distracted.
Chris, because you put this on our table.
You know that I only drink occasionally, so please tell us about the wine.
Cheers to
So
all
what-
drinking on occasion.
So what we're having today is tonight is Othello from Californian or
Okay, so
Okay.
it's
US
California.
wine. Yes, Californian wine. So what we have is a blended. So 86% or 83% of Cabernet, which is the most dominant one. You have your Petit Verdot and Cabernet Franc. So
Okay.
different mix. I chose this one because of the savoriness and the taste of the steak, so that you have more of those taste profile when you taste the steak and taste the wine.
All right.
So let's see. But hope you enjoy it.
I love when he says, I chose this.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, whatever you choose, I'm going to
Yes.
go with it.
We're happy with what you
We're happy with
Thank
what
you
you
very much.
chose.
So that's good.
It is good.
It'll be even better with the steak that's coming to the table. So we have 3 different kinds of steak that are coming. I wonder if they're going to come out all at the same time. But
I think it's gonna all come out at the same time.
okay, so we'll have to talk about them also before they even get here. The steak you mentioned was U.S. The meat, the beef. Are all the steaks dry aged, or are we just looking like when I came in? I saw the tomahawks in the
Dry ager.
the dry
Really enjoy
ager.
the wine.
And they're so impressive.
Period.
The tomahawks meant to be shared, right? Huge, kind of big. Don't come here and try and order a tomahawk by yourselves, guys.
It's good for sharing.
It's
That's so
meant to be
big.
shared. It's meant to be
And
shared,
they can see it later on.
right? So, and all right, we're not going to judge. I know, we know. We're not.
The cook on
People
it.
can finish it.
The cook on your steak.
Yeah, we're not going to.
You're not going to judge, but I always do. I'm sorry. I always do.
I try my best not
It's your show anyway. They will know who I am. So they can't bash me on social media, but I always judge on the way a person orders their steak.
I mean, that's
As long as
gotta
the
be
judge
something.
knows it's good. Of course.
No, but I do it in my indoor voice.
Indoor voice.
So that's like
Just
a teacher.
my-
Use your
yes.
enjoy voice.
Just my indoor voice.
Inner voice.
What a Philistine.
So what we are hearing is that your indoor voice.
Your quiet voice
The quiet.
inside. When you judge someone.
Your deep voice.
Yes.
Deep voice.
Your
how it works.
conscience voice.
Well modulated.
Yes, well modulated and only heard in your mind.
Okay. While we're waiting, I know there's a lot of different things coming up, and while we're waiting for this deliciously, perfectly cooked steak that's coming off the JOSPER grill, I know Father's Day is coming up, but also, guys, for those of you that have watched the previous episodes, you would have seen and understood that NUSTAR is so many more things than just places to eat. It's also got a convention center.
Yeah.
It's perfect for gatherings, for weddings. And there's like the Taste Cebu that's coming up very quickly. I think that's on June 1st and June 2nd, which kicks off. This is the Cebu Food and Wine
Festival.
Festival.
Yes.
I am sure you're going to be here.
Well, we're negotiating it, but I'm supposed to host that.
Oh,
Nothing
fantastic!
final, but I think I am.
Of course.
Yes, I
You're
think I am.
Which is good, no?
a fave here. We know that. We know that already. Just after like sitting with you for a little while.
You're just saying that because of all the wine.
For sure. So this Cebu Food and Wine Festival, what can we expect? Have you attended
Yeah.
one before?
I have. I think this is the 4th year that they're having this. So it's really a coming together of people who love food and wine
Yeah.
and celebrating it in one venue. So it has traveled from one venue to the other.
Okay.
I think this is the very first time that NUSTAR is hosting a Cebu Food and Wine
Yay.
Festival.
Nice, nice.
So
Yeah.
they've had
I'm also
it in other
excited,
venues.
Yeah.
So this one is
And they
this one
said
is-
this is the biggest.
this would probably be
This
the
will be the
biggest
biggest,
as well
yes.
because I think this happened right off the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it, of course, understandably, it started
Yeah.
really small,
don't like to go
intimate.
out.
Yes. Now that we're a little past that already,
Thank you,
so I
Lord.
would think
Yeah.
that
Thank you,
yes,
Lord.
I think this would be the largest already in terms of participation. I would
Yes.
think.
If I can walk you through this coming
But there
June
you
and
go.
July.
So
okay.
Yeah, do it.
Sign the
Perfect.
contract, so I'll be hosting it.
There you go.
Kidding.
Check.
Okay.
So on during Food and Wine Festival, of course, Chef Martin will be highlighting all the foods that really, especially the best in Cebu.
Okay.
And of course, they're gonna taste the seafoods. They're gonna be like 3 section zone, what we
Okay.
call
So it's broken
seafoods.
down into.
meat, and of course the city, which is the drinks, the desserts, and everything.
Oh, you're gonna
So
be.
that's-
You're gonna find me there.
You're gonna have fun.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
3 zones that they're gonna be taste the
Okay.
whole night for 2 days.
So I'm excited. So what will you be making? What will you be doing?
So yeah, Taste of Cebu. So we are really focusing on local ingredients. So Cebu, I would say that this place really has a lot of ingredients, good ingredients. No. So yeah, as you mentioned, it's gonna be breaking down into 3 sections: Oceanic, Highlands, and the city. So out from that 3 sections, we're gonna be, of course, highlighting the popular dishes of Cebu,
Okay.
but we're gonna elevate it. So that's the
yeah.
challenge.
Kick it up a notch.
Yes. So we're gonna elevate the dish, twist it a bit, but of course, we're focusing on, I would say the classic flavors because I don't want to really touch those. But the presentation and the cooking methods that we're gonna be doing is one to watch for. So
So
yeah, really.
it's live demos, it's
Mhm.
cooking, it's
Yes, a cooking
pairing,
station.
it's about one. Is it a purchasing type of festival as well, or will people get to just go around and taste? Like, if you make me taste a bottle of wine, can I buy that bottle of wine on the spot?
They can
Okay,
as well
so
because
it's
there's
also
a lot of
purchasing.
suppliers going on as well.
Excellent, fantastic, guys. The steak has arrived. It's on the table. We are ready to eat. I have
Oh
been
my.
trying to pay attention to Chris and Chef while they're talking, but the
But you're
steaks are in.
distracted.
I'm so
Distract-
distracted.
Your eyes. I could see where your eyes were.
You saw
Okay.
me? I'm so glad Chef
Over there
is
to the
forgiving
left.
because I just actually could not keep my eyes off of the steak. I was almost tongue-tied as well. Okay, so Tonio's putting everything on the table. We have some Italian sides here that look great. There is a cart. Okay, before we jump to the cart, guys, let's look at the steak that's on the table first. Maybe we can do this one. I'm not sure if Jeff can get a good view of it. We'll move those glasses out of the way. Jeff, do you need me to move that plate? Or can you see it?
You have it.
Yeah. So what steak do we have here right
So
in front
this
of you?
is the ribeye.
Okay.
So
And
this
it's
is
all USDA.
your all USDA.
Okay.
So this one on the other side is the T-bone.
T-bone.
The T-bone.
Yes.
We gotta give that T-bone some camera time. I don't know how we can do that.
We gotta show the T
You gotta
on the
show
bone.
the
The
T
T, yeah.
and turn it
T on the
around.
bone.
Chris, if you want to push it forward right in front of the Italian
It is
side.
white.
There you go. So Jeff can
There
get
you
a good look. Turn it a little bit on the side because I know that gravy is blocking.
Yeah, it's
his
blocking.
view.
And of course, no,
Let's
we have the
turn it a little
tomahawk,
bit.
which Chef Randall's
There you
going
go.
to.
So
To
Chef,
carve.
thank you
Carve.
for
So do you
carving
usually
for
carve
us.
on the table?
Huh?
Chef?
Okay. Yes, it usually comes to the table like this. They carve it right in front, and then they lay it down. Look at that big rib.
That would be perfect
like-
for a dad that has worked so hard, right? So on Father's Day.
Day. That's at least 3 inches thick.
It is 3 inches. About
Which is why it takes half
40,
an hour.
30 to 45 minutes.
For
Yeah.
the cook to be really tight.
So yeah, everything is prepared in a JOSPER grill. But most of the cuts, no, this is the popular one. Everybody loves ribeye.
Yeah, ribeye is nice because it has that little ring of very fatty.
Fat.
Which I
Yeah.
love.
Surrounds it.
Okay, so that's
That's
the
where
only
the
reason
flavor
why I
comes
love
from.
it.
You love the ribeye.
I love the
So you
ribeye.
don't like the center part. You
Yes.
just like the outer ring.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that already.
Look at how he sliced that beautifully. You can see all the different layers as well.
You can see the fat.
This tomahawk does not disappoint, not just because of size, but you can see the different cuts as well.
Yep.
A little bit of olive oil.
Mhm.
That's olive oil, no?
So,
Extra
yeah,
virgin.
it's all about. So this is also a dish that is suitable for a family, I would
Yeah.
say. So it's good for sharing. Sure.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you. So Tonio's gonna serve. Let's just turn it around, Tonio,
So
so
that you can
that
see
the camera can
here.
see it. You can put it right in front there, and then we'll try and serve ourselves in a little bit.
Because
Look
we'll
at
get to that.
tomahawk. That is just a beautiful sight to behold. For steak lovers, I don't think there's anything more exciting than
In
seeing
terms of
that come to the
grams,
table.
that would be what, Chef?
Yeah,
Like,
great.
This is
great
roughly more than a kilo.
more than a kilo.
Yeah.
More than a kilo.
Okay.
So definitely can feed the whole family.
Yes. Because people
Right.
always ask that, right? Now, how large is your steak? I'm not talking about the size, but how heavy is it? How many grams
The
is it?
grams.
So this is more than a kilo. Okay, that's substantial.
Yeah, it is substantial,
substantial.
and you know it can feed a whole family. My family enjoyed, the 6 of us enjoyed, and Jelly loves a good steak. I think protein is so important for the kids as they're
It is.
growing up. Very good.
Building muscle.
Yeah,
You can smell it from here, right?
yeah, you can. We're kind of
Already
drooling.
buzzing.
My nose is now full of all the wine that I've been drinking that Chris has chosen for us.
Okay.
I don't smell anything, so it has to come close to me.
No. So which
That's
one
what it was
is
Which-
So you can choose either the vegetables
this
or
one
the
or
meat.
this one?
We didn't
I'll
come
go
with
for the
vegetables.
meat. I'll go for the meat.
vegetables. No, we didn't.
I did
Have
not.
you guys heard of the carnivore diet? Did I ask you this
You were
earlier?
asking me that.
I-
And I
but I-
told you
but
that
I asked you off
it's
cam,
the diet
right?
that I've been on my whole life.
Right.
So yeah, the
Carnivore
carnivore diet.
Did we talk about this on camera already? Because I've been asking people about it. My husband is just all about the carnivore
Well, let me
diet.
serve- let me serve
thank
you a little
So
bit
this
of the-
is T-bone. So that's the left side. That's
The
enough.
T-bone.
Thank you. That's good for
Chef?
me. Chef, would you
Here.
like?
Here.
I'm gonna
A bit
serve
of the
you first.
T-bone.
Yeah, and then you
I'll
can
just
pass
give
that
you
Give me your
plate.
empty plate.
Yeah,
Empty plate.
I'll
thank
just
you.
take one.
Ladies
piece.
first.
One for you. Okay.
Thank
Grazie mille.
Thank you. Okay, this one's
you.
for you. I'm gonna ask for a knife and
One
a
for you.
fork.
Grazie.
A knife and a fork. And then we have here on the side, everybody has their own little,
So this one is
like,
a red wine
Reduction.
Yeah, red wine sauce. So we have 4 kinds. So we have a peppercorn sauce, we have a truffle sauce, we also have
But
a
should
red
we
wine
taste
sauce.
it without any sauces first?
We should.
Appreciate the meat.
Yeah.
To appreciate it. Thank you.
And then depends on what you like to add. Of course, so you have different variations of sauce.
Can I
Never hot sauce. Oh,
Never.
No hot
Can I
sauce. No
just
hot
say
sauce.
though how perfectly done this T-bone
Heals
is?
the flavor.
It is medium rare here. It's perfect.
Juicy.
Can see. How is it, guys? That's delish. So this is the T-bone. Don't need any
I
gravy.
do love my
left.
asparagus. So.
Okay, let's talk about the Italian sides here. It all looks like it was grilled. We have asparagus, mashed potatoes.
Peppers, broccoli,
Peppers.
tomatoes. So whatever is available in the market. Personally, we
That's
also
what
support.
comes out.
Yeah, that's what comes out. So we're very flexible with the vegetables as well. Yeah.
So it's what's in the market, what's available. Chef, maybe some of our viewers might not understand the different cuts that we have here. We mentioned that the ribeye has, that little round crown of
Fat.
very, fatty. I wouldn't say fat completely because it's like a perfect mixture of the fat and the
Muscle.
meat and the
Yeah.
muscle, right? But the T-bone, they're two cuts, and
Yep.
that bone actually separates
One is
the
the
two different
tenderloin,
cuts.
and the other one is I would say, the one near the ribs.
Okay.
So as you can see, the other part, which is the tenderloin, is more, of course, tender compared to the other side because, it really doesn't move that much. That side.
that part of the
The
cow,
part of the cow.
the beef.
So the reason why people choose this one is because of the fat and the meat, right?
There's so much flavor with.
There's so much flavor with the fat, and of course, when you cook it, what makes the meat juicy, right?
juicy and tender. No.
Juicy, tender, and even the smoke flavor comes from the fat.
because it.
When it cooks, it drips and it smokes.
And that elusive umami, right? It gives him that elusive umami.
Okay. Fantastic. So I had a piece of the T-bone. I
Try this one.
would like maybe a smaller piece of the ribeye,
Give
and
you
while
the nice part.
and then while we're having that,
Try this.
thank you, Chris. Tell us. I know you talked a little bit about the wine earlier.
Thank you.
Can I have your plate,
And of
please?
course,
Sorry.
after you take a bite, you need to taste also after that. It's with wine. It makes a difference with steak, actually.
Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chef. It's our ribeye. Is there a proper way to, cutting on the grain? Or,
Yeah.
I hear that. So what does that mean, Chef?
Right.
So
Am I
some
cutting
people say
against
do
the
not
grain?
cut across the grain because
Never
it's,
cut across the grain.
Oh.
Which means what, Chef? Am I doing it right?
Is
Am I
it the
cutting
rule
across
of
the
the
grain? Where is the grain in the first place?
not really because it's, for example, these steaks are already tender.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and they're also tender. Okay.
So those I would say it's
Oh, good.
that method because once you cut across the grain, it shows a lot of fibers. The meat, the cells is really
Just like
exposed.
fabric.
So-
right? Just
Like fabric.
But would you say then that's more for preparation and not necessarily while we're eating?
And that, more on the
Right.
preparation.
Yeah, it's
not
more
while
of
we're-
like preparing the steak before
because
you
you're gonna
cook
chew it anyway.
Right.
So it's gonna be you don't know what direction that
Right.
goes,
So
right?
cutting. So when you're cutting the meat, you're hand cutting the steaks. You would want to cut again
across the grain.
across the
Yeah.
grain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining a lot of fathers who are watching this
And
episode
saying,
right now,
Try
a
this one.
couple of weeks before Father's Day,
Yes.
and they're already ribbing their wives. So
And
I want to
saying,
go there.
I know where I'm going
I
to
know.
celebrate. I know
Yes.
where you can celebrate me best.
Mhm.
For the first man in your life, you
Your
can go
Il
to
Primo.
Il Primo.
Yes.
For your Il Primo, you go to Il Primo.
This would be-
Fantastic.
This would be the most impressive because people always ask me to serve tomahawk because it's impressive in terms
Yeah.
of size. But in terms of flavor, like the subtleties of it would depend on what you want, right? Do you
Yeah.
want a little bit more marbling? Do you want a little bit more fat? The tomahawk is what's the characteristic of a tomahawk steak?
Well, so that's why the tomahawk is most of like for sharing. So once you see something that is really big, it really adds value to the meat. No, that's why a lot of the guests or a lot of people choose the ribeye because
Yes.
first it's juicy, it's tender, and the size is perfect for a person. No, but this
For one
one
person.
really suits
For one
that.
person.
And this is, by the way, 500 grams.
This one, the
Your
ribeye.
ribeye.
Yes.
The ribeye.
500 grams.
Which is heftier than the regular like 330
There are
grams.
300,
Yes.
there are 500s.
So,
So
for
it
me,
really
actually,
depends.
I wouldn't be able to have that all by myself. I could actually split that as well and share it with at least my two daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Very-
me, I can
very
finish
big portion.
500 steak.
You can.
500 grams.
Yeah.
A 500
So I
gram
love
steak.
it.
Yeah. Chris, are you a father? Yes, you are. Yeah. So happy Father's Day, guys! In a couple of weeks, your families
you.
are going to be
Thank you very
celebrating you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your perfect idea of a Father's Day besides having steak at Il Primo?
Besides,
To get them into
we are
trouble.
on duty. Besides, we are in operation. We are still on duty, but we still take time to have some time with our family
Yeah.
during
Well, it's Father's Day all year round, right?
all year round. Correct, yes.
Well, thank you for asking that question, really. So, I really wanted to have the Father's Day to get to spend time with my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
So, I would really, really love that. So, I may skip.
You may
I may
skip.
skip the duty, during that time, to spend more time with
Allowed to.
my loved
It's
one.
one of the busiest days.
Actually,
It's one of the busiest
Mother's
days.
Day and
Yeah.
Father's Day will be the
Yeah.
It's the busiest day. Yes. We are busy, during
We
Father's Day.
really is.
For
Especially
Father's Day, for sure it's gonna be busy.
Especially after this
Well,
episode.
especially for steak.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's my fave.
I know.
The roasted garlic. Go.
Please.
It's okay.
No.
No, go, go.
Get yours.
You love garlic?
Okay, fine. I love the roasted garlic.
Well, it's the roasted garlic. It's always we make this at home as well. There's this one Appetizers restaurant back home in New York. I'll just take one. That it's the Bull's Head Inn, and they would actually roast. It's in the Catskills. They would roast the garlic, and then you put it on a crostini with
Olive oil.
olive oil and the goat's cheese
No.
and a little bit of pesto.
Nice.
And that appetizer is just it's so simple but so yummy. And the roasted garlic, actually garlic is so good for you. It's antibiotic, it's antiviral. There's so many things garlic is good for. Very yummy.
Thank you.
Okay. Should we each have a little bit
The tomahawk.
the tomahawk? And then I know the tiramisu is the best tiramisu on the island, right? Will we be having any desserts as well? Are we going to try anything? We are. We're going to have the tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
Excellent. So we're going to try it. Oh, don't try it.
And it's really heavy.
Yeah, it's really heavy.
It's
you know what?
really
You can just
heavy.
serve us a little piece because that's heavy. I don't think Jude and I are going to
This
maybe
part?
that piece.
Where your crew are praying that we're not going to finish everything.
The
I know
crew
that
is
for
the
sure.
best. We got the best crew
They're
here.
thinking, oh God, they can't finish all of that.
No, we certainly
Can't
cannot.
possibly.
We certainly cannot. Again, this is cooked wonderfully. Jude, you
Thank
can
you.
see the pink. Thank you, Chris, for
So the char is
serving.
going to be on top, right? It's a little char on top.
Mhm.
And then it has to be a little pink in the middle.
Yeah, always a little pink in the middle.
So you like your steak what? Medium?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
And yes, she does judge.
I do judge. I do judge. I mean, I feel so.
Out of the 3 steaks, is it too early to ask? No.
I
Which
haven't
one is your favorite?
dug into
Bite.
my tomahawk.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still ribeye. I don't know why.
Ribeye has so much more flavor because there's a little bit more fat. But the T-bone obviously is a crowd pleaser. T-bone can feed at least 2 people who like the
The two
different
sides.
cuts, right? So if you
That's
like the more
interesting. I never
tender-
knew that. So the set 2 cuts bisected by the T-bone.
Right. Right.
The one on the other side is where the tenderloin is.
Which
The
rarely
fillet.
moves, right?
That's why
okay.
it's very tender.
Okay.
This one, chef?
And the other side is.
That one.
This one.
Yeah, that's
So
the
this is the
fillet.
tenderloin,
Yeah.
right?
This one.
No, that
And the other side.
the other
Oh,
side.
this was the
That one.
tenderloin.
We had
smaller
the
part.
Delmonico side.
I did not know that.
We missed
Learn
the other
something new
side.
every day. Okay.
So one side moves a little bit more, and the other side does not.
That's for people who can't decide. What do I want? Am I right? Or when you're dating someone
Right.
who knows
Who
that-
likes the fatty
Yes,
and who
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
So Nino and I actually we
That's
like
a
the T-bone.
tip. Okay,
T-bone.
that's a tip.
T-bone and porterhouse are the same thing, tama?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
T-bone and porterhouse.
Yeah, so
Okay.
porterhouse is just a little thicker,
Simple. Yeah.
right?
You're such a New Yorker. You know your steak.
I love steak. I love steak.
Porterhouse is more on the middle part of the rock.
The T-bone.
Of the rock. Yeah.
Okay, of the whole thing. See, you learn something new every day. And here at NUSTAR, we have learned so much about the different offerings, opportunities to come together, bond.
A lot of things to tackle.
So many. And you know what? I feel like this has just been, it's been 3 short weeks that we have been together and, you know, trying out all the different outlets, learning about all the different offerings that NUSTAR Resort Cebu has. Guys, go ahead and follow NUSTAR Resort on Instagram and Facebook. Check out Philly Hotel NUSTAR Cebu on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you. Sharing is caring with that garlic. And of course, follow Il Primo NUSTAR Cebu so you can be up to date on their pairings, their set menus, the offerings that they may have, any specials coming up besides Father's Day. I can't believe this is almost over. The 3rd episode.
We're gonna miss you here.
Are you?
Yeah, for sure.
The last
Aw,
episode.
It's been so fun. We've
You
had
want-
so much fun.
Yeah, of course. 3 weeks, but still a lot of things to discover.
Of course, so many more things. And as
Many more.
as NUSTAR continues to grow and continue to add to all the different facets, right? We have NUSTAR opening up in
We
June
just started.
or July, right? You just started.
We just started.
Just getting started
Yeah.
here in NUSTAR Resort. Okay, so you said you still love the ribeye. Chris, which cut do you like?
I'll do the second.
Ribeye
Same.
din?
Ribeye.
As well, okay.
Yeah.
Ribeye.
Ribeye. Me ribeye.
Ribeye. Ribeye really
It's more
does
tasty.
pack the punch.
Yeah.
It
I
hits
would
a spot,
agree. It
right? It hits a
does.
spot,
It
yeah.
really
More?
does.
No, thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
The staff are
Maybe
gonna kill
off-
me if we
Maybe
if I say yes.
off cam, we can have a
Off
little
cam.
bit more. Guys, go ahead and download the Rappler Communities app. You can also join our food and travel channel. Maybe you want to share with us where else we should visit the next time we're here in Cebu. I'm sure you have other foodie finds that you would like to share with us and not gatekeep. All right, guys, this has been so much fun. I am excited to get into. I know, Chef, you've
Save the best for
gone-
last.
Save the
you've
best for
gone
last.
through all
Yeah.
these.
So this wasn't the best.
Save the best for last. Best of
Are we
Cebu.
talking about dessert? Exactly.
Yes, of-
However, yes.
You know, sweet endings, right? There's
Sweet
always a
dolce.
sweet ending.
Dolce.
Dolce, yeah.
Yeah. That awarded tiramisu, the best tiramisu here
consecutive
in
years.
Cebu.
Okay, yeah.
2?
2 consecutive years.
2 consecutive years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, now do you like your dessert with a little coffee?
I
A
can't.
little espresso?
Or more wines.
Or more wine? Pass the wine, please.
Or how do Italians end their dinner with? With the
Sambuca, limoncello.
limoncello.
Yes. You have a little, a digestive.
Yes.
Yes.
To help you burn everything, right?
You try, you
How do you
try.
like your limoncello? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love limoncello.
Limoncello?
I love
Okay.
limoncello. My cousins make it. They store it under the kitchen sink.
Mm.
They make their own. I know a lot of, I know some chefs who make limoncello also.
Yeah. But yeah, learning from the authentic one, I would be really interested to hear.
Did you guys make limoncello?
Actually, here, yeah, we,
Yeah.
we are doing
Yeah,
our
limoncello.
yes, we have limoncello.
And,
It's a
and you
house
make
made.
it. It's house made.
Bring
house
it
made.
out.
Maybe we can try that.
We can try it. Yeah, I can ask.
Bring it out.
Yeah.
Have that. Limoncello really does the digestives after. You know, sitting around the table, the uncles, they were always sitting around because the aunts were always in. You know, my mom and the aunts would be in the kitchen preparing everything. After the table is cleared, the nuts come out, the fruit comes out, and the sambuca would come out. The licorice, it's a licorice liquor. And then when limoncello became much more available, you know, that you didn't have to hand carry it from Italy, then we would enjoy that
Cheers.
as well. So
There's the award-winning tiramisu.
it is, it looks so pretty. Look at those layers.
Okay. All right.
Tiramisu, guys, I'm not sure if many of you also know, it's not actually cream. It's made from cheese, mascarpone.
Mascarpone.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is a very, so the authentic tiramisu is made with the mascarpone cheese.
Sharpon, yeah. And then, as you can see, no? So
Yeah.
it's also
Or we get the
layers.
shape. So it, yeah. So
Thank
you have
you.
the lady fingers.
The ladyfinger sablé, and also the sabayon, no?
Yes.
Which is
I love
also,
sabayon.
yeah. So that's what makes it very authentic, no? Some do skip. That's why we got it 2 years in a row.
Because
That's
they skip the sabayon.
the sabayon.
Yeah. Some, you know, they are for
Isn't
more
this
shortcuts.
sabayon's yolk, right?
It's-
that you whip up
With usually with a liquor.
with
no?
liquor.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you whip it up
Wow,
and then you pour
I
it.
was surprised. Huh? I was surprised you know all of this.
Yeah, and
So
it's
you
usually
really-
made in a
you really
copper
love
pot.
food.
Has to be a copper pot.
Yeah.
So the eggs don't.
You cook it in a double boil, not directly on the heat,
Yeah.
because it's really fast to
Curdle.
Curdle.
What I find
I know that because I've curdled and I've been like, it's terrible.
your egg.
So it's a skill to learn.
We
You
all
know.
get our own.
Of course.
Oh, we're not sharing.
And by the way, I order limoncello.
Oh.
Limoncello as taste also.
So the limoncello has to come after our dessert.
Yeah.
Okay.
After
Usually,
dessert.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But you can have it with it. We don't have to finish all. Of
Yes,
course,
thank you.
I'm sure you guys have other things you need to do as well. Staying up late with me.
But for sure
I
you're
don't
gonna.
think Chef can do anything much after this.
After the operation.
No, he's done. This is it for him.
Oh, Chef, this has been such an amazing trip. Figuring out and finding all the delicious treats.
I
that
would
NUSTAR
really
has
love to
offer.
hear the verdict after you
After
try
we try this?
Yes,
So the verdict for the steak is we still love ribeye. We love the tomahawk for presentation and the sharing
Sharing,
opportunity.
yeah.
It's perfect for Father's Day. It's special. And of course, the T-bone, we know that is great as well
Yeah.
when you're coming with someone and want to share too. So, do you want us to try the tiramisu
Limoncello.
first, or should we have the limoncello, Chris? What do you think we should do?
Try the dessert first.
She's gonna go for the tiramisu.
I know.
She's gonna go
Anything,
for the limoncello.
anything alcoholic.
I knew it.
And this smells really. So you make them.
This is the
In-house.
homemade. Yes, this
It's
is
homemade.
yes, the same.
It's very simple to make. No, it's just it's very long. It's a lengthy time to make.
Cheers.
Okay, so what does the Italian American say about this limoncello?
Cheers.
I love it.
Because some
You can't go wrong
limoncello
with
can be too
limoncello.
bitter. With the, I'm sure you use the peel, right? Also, it's the majorly
It's
from the
liquor
peel.
and then the green.
It's the white
alcohol, and
part
then
that really makes it bitter when you feel
the
it.
white. It's not the. It's the
It's not
pith.
really- yeah, it's the pit, not really the.
Because it
Right?
gives the bitterness.
So
This is delicious.
I have tried commercial limoncello and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Why? Why?
It's a
Do
little
you
too
still,
bitter.
You still drink it cold.
I
like
drink it
serve-
cold.
Yeah.
I drink it cold, but I don't like it because it's a little too bitter. This one is
Nice and light.
like
Balance.
the Filipino in me.
Sakto.
It doesn't want
Sweet sakto balance.
Sakto.
But would the Italian love this as well?
Yes.
This version?
Yes. This Italian does.
I have never seen the peel of limoncello until now, and I'm not lying. Okay, I'm not lying. I'm not after
Maybe
the.
it's because there's no peel. No.
No, shouldn't have a peel.
It's yeah,
Should have
that's
there
it.
is,
It's
there
the
is.
peel and the sugar.
Because the peel and the
it's very
sugars
simple,
and
yes.
everything else.
That's it. That's what it does.
Yes.
So I didn't know though that it's the pith
That makes it
is
bitter.
I always thought it was the outer skin.
Yeah, I thought it was the rind. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. I'm ready to try my tiramisu, the award-winning tiramisu.
2 years in a row, was it, Shaq?
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. With us.
So this
That's
is what
it.
we can
Not
say,
skipping
check,
the sabayon.
check. And so the tiramisu, this is like a sponge cake, or is this lady fingers also?
That's the lady fingers. That's so
So we crossed our cheeks and ladies saw
Nice,
their
huh?
fingers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nice, huh?
That was a bad one. I just had to.
You're so witty. Quick.
The poor ladies. It's good.
it's real good. Yeah.
Poor ladies, but happy tummies over here. Such a treat. Perfect way to end the meal, especially with such good company. This has been such an amazing learning experience, tasting the steaks from the JOSPER grill here at Il Primo, NUSTAR Cebu. You can find something for everyone.
Yeah.
Chef, the end of our episode is usually
Fast talk.
fast questions. For
I wonder
you
how quick
guys.
we will be with
A
lot of
limoncello and wine.
3 wines in
Three
front of
wines.
us.
Paired very well, might I say,
Yes.
Chris. Thank you for doing that
Yes,
pairing
thank you.
for us,
Glad you
explaining
enjoyed.
all the different wines. So those same wines will be offered and they're available for
Yes.
anyone else who would like to come in and do pairings as well.
Of course.
Yeah, they can plan. Chef, could they also plan, like, I know there's a private room. Like if you wanted to come in and have a private dinner, could we do that as well?
Sure, yeah, of course, no. So for advanced booking, because the PDR or the private room also can accommodate 18 to 20 persons,
18.
18 to 20 persons, I would suggest that they pre-booked it.
Yes.
So because it's very popular and a lot of people are really booking into this room.
Yeah. So then you get your private experience. You enjoy all the delicious offerings that are here, and probably quite a bit of attention
Yes.
as well.
And also the packages for the PDRs will be coming out soon. Very soon.
Okay.
Yes. So we are arranging
Yeah.
some of those packages for a big group. For example, you are celebrating something, graduations, or like for the weddings,
Father's Day.
Father's Day especially.
Yes, of
So
course.
we
If
have
you have a
something
big
to offer
family.
for you to occupy the PDR for us.
So you can even take advantage of those menus,
Yes.
almost like a set menu din, but made for the whole group.
Tomahawk for sharing.
Yeah.
Things like that.
It's so impressive how the cart comes to the table.
Yeah.
Were you impressed how that was?
And how expertly it is done right in front of you.
Right.
Which is the same way they do it in Mont 32.
With the duck.
Yeah, with a duck. When you know when you hear the cart coming, you know that the goodies are
That's the
coming,
signal.
right?
Making.
Goods, yes.
Yes.
It's the same way here.
It's a cute. Yeah.
And I think shows like this actually help out by illustrating to people exactly how large and how impressive these are, because they can always you can always talk about 500 grams or almost a kilo, but without a visual,
Yes.
they'll never be convinced that.
Seeing is believing.
Yes, and even more so when you come over and actually try it.
Yeah.
That's not lip service. I mean,
No.
seriously, like
I
it's in
don't
front of
think
you.
you're the type of person
To
that
do
gives
lip
lip
service,
service
yes.
anyway,
Yes.
which I appreciate. You always know where you stand.
Yeah, I can-
There's an authenticity
Authenticity.
that can be appreciated.
It's very impressive.
Yes.
I cannot even tell you the wine is very good. The limoncello is very good without tasting it, right? And
But the
pairing it with
limoncello
the
is
food.
very good.
The limoncello
Yeah.
is very good. We'll have more after the cameras are on. No, I'm kidding. Okay, guys, who shaped your relationship with food?
Mothers. My parents.
Your
My
parents.
parents.
So none of the family actually cooked, but my father was fascinated with stories behind the food.
Is that how you got into
That's how I got into food journalism. My
Yeah.
father could not cook. My mother could. Well, my father cooks. My mother barely cooks, but my father always attached a story to everything that he would feed us. This is what I
that.
ate when I was younger. It
Right.
always came with a story. And I think food always tastes better and people are more forgiving if it comes with a story.
Absolutely.
That's what I believe is.
Well, it's all about the stories. We're
Yes.
all intertwined through the stories that we have, where there may be similar storylines as well.
yes, even from
right?
different cultures.
Yes.
Like you said earlier, you're Italian American.
Yes,
You have a Filipino mother,
Yes.
and it's the same thread all throughout.
very similar.
Same as the wine as
Very
well,
similar.
right? So I
You went from Argentina to
exactly
the US.
from US and from
Italian.
Italy.
Italy, and now, yes.
And
Yes,
now we're
Yes,
back.
yes,
We're
going
ending
back
with
to Italy.
Italian as well. Favorite food as a kid? So I'm not asking this of Chef. I'll ask him the others.
did.
because he
But I
has
really
gone
like,
through.
but I really like to answer that because I remember when I answered that, what really shapes me with food is my parents.
Yes.
Right? Because my father is a pastry chef and my mother cooks very well.
Oh,
Yes.
But the real person behind that shapes me is my wife, to be honest. She's the one who really pushed me for this one.
So when you try and like you make things, she's the
She
first
really
person
appreciate
you
it.
want
Yeah.
to
To
taste
impress.
it.
And she's the one that tells me, babe, you really need to be a chef. You really need to continue and pursue to that.
Tell her
Yeah,
how
that's
much
why
you appreciate
I
that.
appreciate her so much. Really, really,
Aw.
up until.
and he's not saying this because he's drunk on the wine.
I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk.
Chris
I'm
got
not drunk. I love you. I love you.
table.
And really, the way I saw you and your husband really impresses me as well.
Oh,
So yeah. So
stop,
thank
Chef, you're gonna make me
great, great
cry.
job, great job.
Thank you.
Really, really. So these
Good
things,
to
you know, that's the good thing about this episode. No, it's not only about the food; it's about the people around you.
Around
So,
the
yeah.
table. It's always like that with a meal.
Yeah.
You know?
Kudos to you. Kudos to him.
Aw, thanks,
Really, really.
Chef. Thanks so
I love you,
much
babe.
for having us. Aw, see? You know what? All these, the good food, the good wine, the good vibes, it just brings out all that gratitude. Being grateful for my husband as well, of course. is
Yeah.
something I'm super vocal about as well. So thanks for that, Chef. And thanks for noticing, because I do think we make a great team. All right. So favorite cuisine as an adult?
Pasta.
It's
I will be
Italian.
Thai.
Thai.
Yes.
There's so many layers to Thai.
Yes,
right?
I love the
Like,
Southeast Asian flavors of it. So I was talking to a lot of food writers.
Yeah.
How can you tell that it's a great cuisine? Or if it's a cuisine from a country that has reached a level that it's recognizable worldwide?
Right.
When you can tell what it is when you're blindfolded.
Yep. That's
So
the
you
real
can
test.
tell if it is,
Blindfolded.
for
So let's
example,
blindfold.
Japanese food. If
Yes.
you're blindfolded,
Yes.
you can tell if it's Chinese food
Yes.
if you're blindfolded.
Yeah.
So these cuisines have reached a level where they're recognized around the globe, even if you're blindfolded.
Yeah.
Same with Italian.
Right.
Filipino has yet to get to that level.
Well, we are hoping that it does.
Yes.
Right. I feel like we've been on the edge for so long
Yes.
with Filipino
Someday
food, like
soon,
right there.
we will blindfold you, and you can say, "Oh, that's adobo."
Adobo.
We will get there. We
That's
will
what
get
I'm
there.
thinking actually.
Our
gotta
food
be
is
adobo.
beyond adobo and lumpia. Please,
course.
it's beyond that.
There's a
It's
lot.
beyond that.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
There's
so
a lot.
many,
Yes.
so many different.
So we'll get
layers
there
as well.
when we blindfold ourselves and say, "Oh, that's Filipino food."
Kare-kare.
Yeah.
Right.
Eh,
The peanut sauce. Sinigang.
Sinigang is so good then. Even the Thai version.
Mm.
Okay. Favorite food guru.
Nobu.
Ah.
Nobu. Chef
Okay.
Matsubisa.
All right. So you love Japanese too.
As a food storyteller myself, I love the way that Anthony Bourdain approaches things.
Gone too soon.
He respects the cuisine and he does not come into it, the story, with his preconceived notions.
Yeah.
You should never. That's one thing I learned. I have, for example, when an American or a European storyteller comes in, it's always tainted with what
It's
they
hard.
know.
It's hard, yeah.
So what he would
Anthony
do
did-
is
he
he
didn't
did
do
not do
that.
that.
He didn't.
He just went there and he would not compare it to anything that
Yeah.
he's had
He
or
immersed
just immersed himself.
in it.
And,
And
the
I think
food.
that's
I love
that's
the guy
a
as
great
well.
food
Yes.
writer,
Really
yeah,
good.
right?
And I always, like, as a journalist, I
Yeah.
always have to tell myself not to do that because we're always sometimes guilty of that.
Right.
I mean,
Well, it's
we're,
hard. That's our
it's not
lens.
always sometimes,
Well,
but we're always guilty
Well,
of that.
that's our lens.
That's our lens.
That's our lens.
But he had such a unique take on food.
Did and the
It
way
was
he told it and
yes.
the way he told
So
it.
you love his book,
I have
Kitchen
not,
Confidential.
No, you know what? I have not,
read
but
it.
I have not read
No.
it. I'm
Oh,
not
now I
ready.
feel
I'm not
like I
ready
need to
yet.
pick it up.
Really cool.
I'm not ready yet.
Kitchen confident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
read it.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. Favorite hobby when not writing about food or hosting or producing or
Okay.
wearing the many hats? What do you enjoy in your free time?
So the funny thing is, everything that I do is something that people think of as a hobby, but then people pay me for.
Yeah.
Like
So
I scuba
you love your
dive
job.
as a I
Scuba
scuba dive as a
Yeah.
yes, because I'm a aquatic biologist. That's what I do as well.
Okay.
So
Oh my
everything.
God.
So I have
You do
designed,
so many different things.
which is why I've designed a life where everything that I've thought of as a hobby, I've made a living out of.
beautiful.
And I always make sure that I am so good at it that they will not question me about it. Because some people spread themselves too thin
Right.
about one thing that they do or
Right.
two things that they do.
Yeah.
I make sure that I'm so good at it that no one will question me or my
You're
capability in all
meticulous.
those.
Wait, are you the firstborn?
I
How
am
many
firstborn.
siblings?
Of five. I'm
Yeah.
firstborn of five. Is that typical?
Very much so.
I am firstborn of five.
You do like 3 or 4 different things. You're
Yes.
like yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
There is
Oh, you're good at it, huh?
My cousin wrote a book on birth order and how that affects
Oh.
who you are. Right? So
I
of course we
am
come
firstborn
into
of
it
five.
with something. Of course our mothers hand us down something. The generations before us hand us down with something. But birth order has a lot to do with it, believe it or not.
My favorite is the middle child.
I'm the middle child.
I always get along with the
Middle
middle
child.
children.
I'm the middle child.
I-
So we're
without
besties now.
Without me knowing.
How about you,
Without
Chef?
me knowing.
How about you?
We're only two, so I'm the youngest.
You're the
Yeah.
The youngest.
You're
I'm
the
the eldest.
You're the
I'm
eldest.
the eldest.
Okay, so
4.
Of four.
what's your hobby when you're not pairing,
Camping.
camping?
The camping.
So you like camping.
Yes.
And there's lots of nice places to camp
Exactly.
nearby.
You can hike really close to the trails in like Guadalupe.
I love more on like positioning, like buying some like a good tent.
Yeah.
You know, like camping, eating, and everything.
Nice.
Enjoying with the family
Nice.
overnight.
So your
Not
wife likes
with
to
a
camp.
suit, right?
Not
Not
in
with
a
a
suit.
suit.
Not in-
I know that was
Only
That's
tie.
gonna be
when he
difficult.
said
Only
camping,
tie.
I'm like, you like to camp?
Yeah.
Okay, music in the kitchen, yes or no?
Music, definitely yes.
Yes. What's playing?
Yes.
R&B. I'm eclectic.
Wow, R&B.
I love
I love
R&B and
R&B.
alternative. So I love
Alternative.
alternative and R&B.
That's
Same
good.
for me.
Yes.
Same for
So
me.
I know you're a chef, and chefs don't usually like playing music in the kitchen
In the
when you're
kitchen,
working.
yeah.
But what if you were at home
At
with your
home, of
girls?
course.
What are you playing?
We play a lot of music, you know.
Yeah.
Especially the ABCs and kindergartens, you know.
Because of the children.
Frozen.
Because of
Children.
A little
Frozen, it's very
So we can let it go.
Right.
Take out or dine in.
Definitely dine in for the experience.
Experience.
Yes.
Everything we've had so far has been really all about the experience, immersing yourself in the surroundings. You know, we didn't even really talk about the interiors, but it's so beautiful here. It's it contributes to the meal. So for me, it's definitely dine in.
Nothing.
For dining.
Dine in.
During pandemic,
Take
Take
out.
Of
Yes.
course.
Take out.
Come
Safer.
on. Safer.
It was safer, but you don't get this.
Right.
yes.
You don't get, and you can't justify how much you put a price on the
Yeah.
food if it's just takeout.
Yeah.
Right?
For
You don't
sure.
get you don't get everything else
Right.
that
The full
factors into
experience.
why your steak.
the whole experience.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
that has to factor
As we
in.
would say, the whole kit and caboodle.
The whole kit and caboodle. People always say, that's expensive. For steak, they're charging that much.
No, but you
But you have to get through the
carve it
whole
right.
experience. Someone carving it for
Really,
you.
how can you come up with your creativity if you're gonna put your food
In a box.
In a box.
In the back.
Yes.
So it's a no-no for me as well.
Yeah.
Really,
dine in
really.
all the way.
Takeout is for pizzas only.
And pizzas are good whether they're hot or cold.
Mm.
Okay. Two foods that go together but don't go together. My kids like French fries and ice cream.
I love my French fries with gravy,
Okay.
not the ketchup.
That's very
with the gravy.
poutine.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very Canadian.
Yeah.
Very Canadian. Very Canadian.
Champurado in tuyo.
Or tuyo.
Champurado in tuyo.
Actually, that one goes together.
Alien to us for Cebuanos.
Really?
So we love our champurrado sweet all the way.
Yeah.
So when I
That
went
with danggit?
not with danggit.
Not with the danggit.
No,
Okay.
it's never with tuyo. That's
Okay.
more of a northern thing. So when I studied up in the north, that's when I was
That's when
introduced
you
to that
tried it.
concept. It was surprising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too, because well, growing up as a Phil-Am, I had champorado,
Champurrado.
but I
Just-
never had
yes,
it.
like a cereal.
With, it was
right?
like
a
porridge.
cereal.
It
Yeah,
was
like
my
porridge.
oatmeal in the
Yes.
morning. Instead of oatmeal, I'd ask for champorado. But it wasn't until my ex-boyfriend over there, I came home with him, and he was putting tuyo on. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes, but it
Why are you
works.
doing that? But of
It
course.
works.
Salty sweet, it works. It works for those people that enjoy those
Yes.
flavors. Any kitchen or dining accessory you collect, because of course chef collects knives. Anything you guys collect?
I like to collect bar tools.
Bar tool.
Bar tools makes so much
like
sense in your line of work.
jiggers, and
Yeah. So you like making drinks too?
Like making drinks
aside
as
from
well,
pairing.
Yes.
How about you?
I love the quirky. So this is Italian Alessi stuff. So I love the quirky stuff. I love that they can also function, but they're also beautiful to look at.
You can leave them out on the counter. They don't belong in the,
Yes,
the drawer.
I actually use them.
Yeah.
I actually use them.
Yeah.
I've had some of them, like grow old with age and all that, and get tattered. But that's how I think.
But they're pretty.
Yes,
Pretty
but
and
I
functional.
don't use them as like I don't treat them like they're precious things. They're beautiful things, but they have to be functional as well.
Yeah. Agreed. Form and function.
Form and function.
I like that. This last one. Anything before we go to the fast, right? You're on the sofa watching a movie. What's on your snack board?
So the JG Summit is gonna love this, but taquitos.
Taquitos.
When it was introduced,
Chili chips.
I was already there as a kid when they first introduced it to the market, and I cannot forget that experience. But I'm so lazy, I cannot, for the life of me, cook. So that will be my meal.
Yeah.
I'd
You'll
open
just eat
up,
chips.
I'd eat
Yeah,
chips.
but you know what?
Taquitos.
Yeah,
I would eat chips. Yeah.
I think
it's okay. We won't judge.
Mm.
Or are you thinking?
After
Fish.
Yeah.
fish ball and kikiam.
Ah.
That's it. With
Sauce.
with sauce.
He was giggling
sauce.
before.
Just vinegar.
Just
just
the
vinegar.
You use
Just
the
vinegar.
vinegar. Not the
And some white
sweet.
wines
Yeah.
if it is available. Just white wine.
So white wine and
Cebuano
fish
is like
balls.
that.
Just
I love the combination white wine and fish.
Fish
It
balls.
goes.
It's
it
also a
really is.
fish.
It's a fish, right?
So it can be paired with the white wine.
easy.
It's very oot and street.
Okay, this is very quick now. Burrata or mozzarella,
Burrata.
Burrata.
Burrito.
pizza or pasta,
Pizza for me.
Pasta.
Pasta.
wagyu or T-bone,
Wagyu.
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 T-bone or tomahawk,
T-bone.
Yeah. Tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Always share.
tomahawk or ribeye,
Oh, ribeye.
Ribeye.
ribeye, roasted or mashed potatoes,
I like mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potato.
red or white sauce for pasta,
White sauce.
Depends on my mood.
White sauce. White sauce.
red or white wine.
Both.
Both. I would say both.
I love
Yes.
those. Yeah.
Tonight,
I love both.
salmon
Plus
or-
rosé.
Plus rosé.
Rosé.
Rosé and the lemon
And your sambuca.
Yeah. Salmon or sea bass,
Oh God, sea bass.
Sibas.
Salmon for me. I love salmon.
tiramisu or panna cotta.
I like tiramisu. Number one.
Tiramisu.
Number one in Cebu.
Panna cotta.
Panna cotta is delicious as well.
NUSTAR.
Yes, of course. Sinigang or kare-kare.
Sinigang.
Kare-kare.
Sinigang. So yeah. Same.
Oh, interestingly though. Okay, so for the Cebuanos, sinigang, both sinigang and kare-kare were alien to us around 25 to 30 years ago. We were never introduced to that.
I heard.
It was my generation and before that would be educated outside of Cebu, particularly in Manila.
Yes.
So we learned to appreciate sisig, tapsilog, tosilog. None of that was in Cebu 30 years ago, I would say.
I find it similar.
Say.
No? Kare-kare and balbakua.
And balbacoa?
Balbacoa?
Yeah. Almost.
Yes, but balbacoa
Almost.
is the skin of a carabao.
Yeah. But less meat.
Ideally, it's a skin of a carabao that's cooked to tender perfection. Although we don't serve it with the yes, it's a little
Bagoong.
similar, but we don't serve it with the bagoong.
With the bagoong.
So yeah,
So you'd eat it without the bagoong.
without the bagoong.
Is bagoong mainly Tagalog or is it, I mean, was
think
there...
it's-
We do have
Tagalog.
that here as well.
You also.
You did. Okay. Interesting. I love that you have so much history and you know so much of the stories behind the dishes. I want to chat with you some more. It's been such a wonderful episode.
Thank you for
right?
having me.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay, last one. This is like 95% of the guests usually say the same thing. Tapa or Tocino?
Tocino all the way.
Tocino.
Tapa.
Tocino.
Oh, tapa.
Tapa. So you guys are like the 5% that usually would say Tocino.
Tocino.
'Cause
Tocino.
most everyone chooses the tapa.
The tapa.
Garlicky tapa.
Garlicky.
Well,
garlicky
you know,
sweet,
I'm not saying that I
salty.
don't like it. I love everything
You would
garlicky, and
choose
I would love the
tocino
tapa.
first.
But
Put
the
them both in front of you.
tocino is
Tocino's
something that I
tocino.
grew up with.
Tocino's
It's
tocino.
something that the Cebuanos have grown up with. In fact, our
Chorizo de Cebu.
the Cebu is
Yeah.
sweet.
It's sweet then.
And the most
Right.
famous one is right on the corner, literally on the corner of where I now live.
So you have
So
that often?
I have it, well, I wouldn't say all the time, but often, yes. It's right on the corner.
Really? Wow.
It's been such a fantastic time exploring and learning more about NUSTAR Resort Cebu. I've met so many beautiful people along the way. Chef, thank you for guesting with me for the whole series. all the episodes.
I enjoyed all the episodes.
We've had so much fun
Did
here
Chef Summer-
together.
Have its limoncello.
I think
Yeah, you
I've
did.
finished my
Yes, you
limoncello.
did. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
to NUSTAR
Cheers.
Resorts.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms
Already.
up, chef.
Ready.
Oh, goodness.
Bottoms up.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Finally, they all did it.
Good.
Yeah.
Guys, as always, so you have to come by and explore and learn more about NUSTAR Resort Cebu for yourself. If you can't do that just yet, go ahead and make sure to follow them on social media. There are lots of goodies that you guys can also win. You can win 2 dinners for 2 people here in Philly Cafe. You can also win an overnight stay so you can explore all the other restaurants that comes with breakfast, of course, in Philly Cafe, and explore even the mall and the shopping and all the different things that you can do on the property. As always, guys, I want to hear from you. Share what else you think we should be looking at, exploring, trying, tasting. But this is me signing off from Cebu. Thank you for having us. As always, guys, keep cooking, keep sharing, and keep safe. Thank you, Cebu. Thank you, NUSTAR Resorts.
Bye.
Daghang salamat.